It is often said that in poker there are no friends, and if that's the case, in heads-up poker, there are only enemies. Nowhere to run and nowhere to hide as we bring you the very first edition of the High Stakes Duel from inside the PokerGO studio at City Center in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. Ali Nejad, joined by thrice-decorated World Series of Poker bracelet winner Nick Schulman. And there's a look at the two combatants tonight in round one. Phil, the poker brat Hellmuth, 15-time bracelet winner with over $23 million in career tournament earnings. And across the felt from him, his nemesis, 4-time bracelet winner with over $27 million in live tournament earnings, and at one point, the winningest player in tournament history, Antonio the Magician Esfandiari. The rules of this duel, it is heads up, no limit hold'em, 20-minute levels. But if you win, you can't just cash out. The loser has the option to challenge. If that loser declines, another challenger can step forward.
Let's go, Philly boy.
There's your prize pool, 100 grand, 50K ahead here in round one. And if we make it to round 8, 12.8 million will be up for grabs. Well, Nick, here we go.
How long are the things?
In these strange times.
The shot clock?
Masks,
1 minute.
a small price to pay to get back to the game we love.
It's got to be 30
Indeed,
seconds.
Ali. I mean, here we are.
That makes more sense.
You know, can't
Raisy
wait to see these
daisy.
two do battle. Heads up. Let's
You
go.
wouldn't believe
Did you
the
come
monster
with
I woke up with on the
thrice
first
in
night.
the info?
Yes, indeed I
Man.
did.
I'm like, whoa, on the first
Now,
night?
Antonio, I just want to
Curveball
say,
right off
as
the
what do you
bat.
wanna
We got the
say?
3 deuce for
check
both.
it out. This is pretty cool, right? The Nevada Gaming Commission is in the house.
Oh, I
And,
know. I know where you're going.
Feels like a heavyweight fight, you know? They're here, they protect us.
They sure do. They don't go to dinner with us, though.
And you know, I mean, basically, you know, we're wearing masks, but I feel like this is kind of, you know, poker coming back, you know? And this is, everybody in every casino has to wear a mask, so why should we be special?
I don't know about you, Nick, but certainly
Well, there's a million
I've gone
reasons
up a
why you
weight
should be
class
special.
during the quarantine.
Oh, you want to go that route?
I mean,
Buddy,
you know
the
you're-
quarantine's been rough
Check, I'm
on
not
us
gonna raise
all,
my
but
friend.
you know,
We
Phil
just
has a point.
started.
I mean, it is what it is. We're back.
You ready?
Let's
I
go.
understand. I
Each of these
understand.
players starting with 300,000 in chips, 30-second shot clock in
Check.
play, and each player is given 5 60-second time extensions.
1,000.
Phil with a little stab here can check as
You
well.
win, sir.
Takes it down.
Top pair.
So much for facial recognition in the casinos. Right?
Well, how about this for recognition?
anyone who's barred
15
from a
years
casino can
Antonio
go to any
Sr.
casino with a
Hellmuth,
mask.
hailing from Madison, Wisconsin. Antonio moving to the States at the age of 8 from Tehran, Iran, and level on the marriage and
Come on
kids
down.
stats there, Nick.
Right. I don't know why they throw those stats. What do those stats have to do with anything? But listen, two absolute legends.
He was for a different reason.
We already know what it is.
All right.
Antonio with a pretty one. Shoots it up, of
Antonio
course.
Esfandiari. All right.
2,500 to go.
Ooh.
Blinds are at
Yum, yum.
500 and 1,000. Yum Yum has been declared by Hellmuth, who defends with the Queen Jack.
Rachel, hit this hand. He'll never know.
I'm going to check.
Dark check from Hellmuth, who flops the gut shot straight draw.
3,000.
Wow, I'm feeling extreme strength.
Maybe
Maybe
a
I
hair
shouldn't
big
You have
here
extreme
from
strength?
Antonio.
I feel
Kind of
extreme strength
a
from you.
dry-ish board with the spades.
Sure,
Okay,
talking like
stat.
you're strong. I'm nervous.
Maybe
for
an
you.
ace jack high or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
Hellmuth check
I
calling
would
the
check
3K
again.
stab. And hitting a jack on this turn. Checking dark once more. Sort of a hallmark of Hellmuth.
He likes to dark check more than perhaps almost any other pro. And Antonio here with an equity list kind of stab, leaning on
Pressing
things
me
like
in,
ace
eh?
high.
No, you got
Not
it.
crazy about this, but okay.
You got it.
Bro. Nice hand. You got it.
We both have it.
6,500, the check call number this time from Hellmuth. And the king
Check.
making it a little bit difficult to try to get one through here for Antonio.
I think this is going to be a white flag for the magician, but let's see. And he's kind of good at this sort of
Check.
giving weird loose action to start things off, a bit of advertising. I don't know. You know what I mean? He's
Sure.
kind of slippery like that.
Swing
where
and a
he throws
miss.
some chips around to start, and then let's see.
No, you really wanted that last one, huh? You wanted one more barrel so bad.
I did.
Yeah.
Next
Yeah, I
level
mean, I
will
had
be
a pretty good hand by the river.
1,500.
Something tells me it wouldn't have worked.
And plenty of chatter early on, which I
you were
think
getting
favors
called.
Antonio, Nick. He's one of the best when it comes to
Snap
speech
called.
play.
I don't know, though. I mean, Phil knows what he's doing, too. We'll see. He is. But
Don't
these
bluff
two
Phil.
know each other well.
Don't
I mean,
bluff Phil.
we'll see.
Don't bluff Phil. Rachel, don't let me bluff him, okay?
The
If
limp
you see
here,
me
an
bluffing
awfully
too
nice
much,
hand.
please
Suited
let me know.
king in position can
I'll
raise,
adjust.
of course. Comes with the limp.
Check.
Flopping top pair on the King Jack 6 board. It goes check check, and 8 on the turn does provide Esfandiari a gut shot straight draw.
Somewhat interesting decision for Antonio here. Looks like he's just out with the gutter and the
One
spade.
day I'm gonna make a
where-
pair, Dad.
Okay.
One day.
Antonio's
I would've
father
given you
here
2 pair.
supporting him. as
Moaning to
so
pop
also
over
does.
there.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make a pair.
You
Watch.
could have had 2 pair of the last hand. Would be okay with me.
Yeah.
You want jacks and 8s? I'll give it to you.
All right, dark raise.
And let's look back at a heads-up challenge.
Oh, I couldn't wait to play you heads up, Antonio.
Anytime. Any amount, any player.
Yeah, we'll do it. You know that.
Not often you call Santa
have to
out.
raise.
Right, I don't know how you
Right,
just
Rachel?
talk smack in the Santa suit, but listen, I mean, these guys have
Win.
beefed multiple
And I
times
check 'em
over
up.
a 15-year period, legitimately. I mean, and just talking to them before, listen, they both want to win. It is what it is. I mean, these kinds of little ego battles, yes, it's just one match of heads up, but, you know, off we go.
Not a rancid beef, but
No.
beef nevertheless.
Yeah, right, yeah. Rancid beef, it's just, but yeah, I mean, emotions fly at the poker table, and they both, I suppose Phil is
You
more,
always have
we see
something?
Hellmuth
Check.
here with middle pair Antonio with some possibilities bluffing-wise, but okay. I guess Phil is more in kind of professional poker now. Antonio's a little bit removed. He's in LA. He's doing his thing, but make no mistake about it. I mean, they both, you know,
He's winning
have
boxing matches
egos.
against
He's
Kevin
boxing
Hart.
Kevin
He's playing
Hart.
cash. He's being
playing
a dad.
Cash. He's being a dad. Okay, but they both want to win. So let's see what they got. I mean,
Going to be tough to notch a W with Queen 7 on this board here as Antonio fires 7,500. The follow-up act to the
and
flop.
I suppose the plan here is to bluff a heart or a 9 or a jack. The ace of spades.
Check.
Let's see. Antonio with not much at all.
He did wave the white flag in a previous pot, not choosing to
dude.
barrel one more time, but
Okay,
the texture different, and
Antonio.
here it comes.
And he gets snapped by Hellmuth.
Nice hand.
And that's a winner.
And it's going to send a message here early.
Yeah, these guys are
One
a
day
little
I'll
bit,
make a pair, Dad.
guys
One
are
day.
out in the
I'm
woods
waiting.
so far. you
When
know?
I do, I'm gonna get max value out of it. I promise you, if I ever make a pair, it's gonna be so good.
And right away, a little meta.
Some guys just never make pairs.
Chirping you alluded to.
Hellmuth's biggest career tournament cash coming in 2012, 2.6 million. And this is a guy who's won the main. He's got 15 bracelets, and yet
Listen, this is an all-time legend. I
there's
mean,
still a strange lack of respect from some faction of the poker community, generally skewing younger, for his accomplishments.
does some unorthodox things. Can he hang in
Your
there with the
strategy is
best
just to
no-limit
let
hold'em players of today?
Profish, bluff, bluff, bluff.
It's-
Catch him. Dwindle. And then win.
It is what
That's
it
your
is. It's hard
strategy?
to say, but,
Pretty good
but
strategy.
everybody, the court of
Could work
public
once I ever
opinion,
make a hand. If I ever
you
make
know,
a hand, you might have a problem, but
it is what
you
it
don't have
is.
to worry, 'cause I just never
Let's
make
see,
hands.
though. Let's see what he has today. And he obviously is going to go
My
down as,
strategy
as
is
one
what
of
we
the
like
great
to call
poker
fluent.
careers ever, just
Fluent,
for
white
progressing
magic.
the game, the accomplishment,
Maybe
all
I'll
of it.
change
That's Phil
strategies.
Hellmuth.
I understand.
Antonio, 2,500 to skate with the ace. Hellmuth defending another one of these queen jacks. And flopping middle pair, swinging a miss for Esfandiari again.
This humming is a little
Chunky.
bit, you know.
I'll check.
Antonio going with the hard hum.
Is
to
it
start things
subconscious?
off. We have a dark check, queens and jacks. Beautiful. Antonio with just ace high. these types of hands sometimes take off bluffing. In theory, he is continuing.
3,000 on the flop, and here on the
I
turn,
believe he put some chips in.
6,500.
And I think we have an easy continue. We can raise certainly for value in a cash game. It's quite reasonable. Here with the one and done kind of freeze out format, I think check call makes sense.
Oh, and queen's full just in case for Hellmuth. And you see Antonio just giving up.
He was the last better, right?
Yeah, he checked.
I checked. So who shows first?
Huh?
I have the nuts.
Two full houses and 5 hands. Why not? My name is Phil Hellmuth. Why
Well,
not? Why wouldn't I have another
If you
full
thought
house?
calling out
Everyone's got
Santa
stuff.
was strong, get a load of this.
One day I'm going to make a paradise.
Wow, is he putting the chips
I
in?
call.
He does call. And Antonio will knock off Phil Hellmuth.
Hellmuth gone? Bad call.
I want to play with him every day.
My door is available anytime, Phil.
I want to play with you in tournaments every day, kid.
My door is available anytime. I mean, I can't beat you straight up. You're the best in the world, right? So I have to have luck on my side.
You wanna say something? You haven't held over me? I mean, there's like 2 guys in the world that have held over me.
You know, I've done well.
Yeah.
But like I said, anytime you want to play heads up for 100 grand and winner shoots the loser with
Heads
a taser
up.
gun,
I mean, how
I'm
about?
available.
I mean, I have an 8. He has a queen. It comes a 10 on the river for him to move in.
Wasn't Phil behind the whole hand?
Oh.
I can't believe it.
Nothing better than torturing Phil Hellmuth.
So the taser gun of infamy, the
listen,
challenge.
The whole taser gun thing. Well, we don't need to be tasing each other. We got the 100 dimes on the line. I mean, let's go. I mean, if they want to bring a taser gun, okay. But I mean, you can see you see it. You know, these guys are. I mean.
Well, these guys are sitting on bottom pair and open enders, as both of them have 5-6, and both of them have made the straight on the turn, but a 4th spade showing up on the river does complicate matters.
Looks like we just have a check affair. Chop it up next hand.
And heads up, Nick, is such a game of momentum.
Truly is. I mean, not just momentum, but just it's just different. You really get to know somebody in these heads-up
Why wouldn't he have a
streets.
straight as well?
All of those showdowns, so on and so forth. It's a beautiful form of poker. There he is.
And it is a beautiful thing to hold 15 pieces of the most prestigious poker jewelry available. A World Series of Poker bracelet, something you know a little something about, Nick?
I slid in there a few times, but 15 is 15. I mean, that's insane, by the way.
And you had a chance to speak to these guys prior to the match, and I think Phil got out there and said something like 10 more than the next closest guy, and then he had to clarify in Hold'em.
And you know what? Phil showing up year in, year out and taking the bracelets seriously and getting it done and saying, I have the most, what are you going to do about it? That is a good thing for poker, and you know, he takes a lot of pride with that as we see he's outkicked here.
Yep, and that's a good thing for Antonio, who finally seems to be in front on a flop.
Been a little salty so far, but this is a long match, very deep. It looks like Phil's going with a little feeler here.
Well, Esfandiari, I believe, bet the 3,500, and now Hellmuth calling. He very much prefers this passive line, right? He raised it to 7,000.
He went with the min raise, which is a little bit kind of odd, unorthodox, but we're talking about Phil Hellmuth here, one of the most legendary players of all time. So let's see. He's giving a little tickle, seeing where he's at. It's reasonable, sure. Middle pair is quite strong playing heads up. I mean, the hand has a lot of value. I would think the default is to check call.
And look at Antonio on the turn after the dark check from Phil, not afraid to fire the 10-5.
Lovely from Antonio, and that's an unlucky river for him, as we see they'll chop it up.
And by 10-5, I meant 10,500, not the 10-5 clubs.
Yeah, really nice value bet from Antonio. Kind of understanding that Phil likes to test the water, see where he is. Here he is, boning a little bit. There he is.
Board pairs for a chop.
The rules, dealer. So I have to show first if he's the last better. Is that what it is?
You're out of position.
So first position has to show first, even though the last guy, even though he bet last.
It's funny. This has been a
You're so
conversation in
lucky.
poker for years. Is it last aggressor to show
you're
or
pretty lucky.
position? I guess it needs to be
okay.
determined
I'm gonna catch my luck when the
because it
blinds
can
are a little
change
higher.
a little bit venue to venue. But off we go.
And the hum continues.
Yeah, the hum. Because somebody talked to him about the hum. This is getting crazy. Actually, it's a little bit unbearable. But
Subconscious or
respect.
intentional?
No, listen. I mean, massive
Yep.
respect, but the hum's got to go.
2 7s for Hellmuth here, as he chooses to limp in and flops middle set on a very dry-looking board.
And like the thing is, you know, I like to shoot it up with 7s on the button. It's a great hand. We're in position. Let's inflate the pot a little bit. But Phil kind of does what he does. You know, he plays his own way, and it's interesting to watch him navigate, because one thing that he will do, he'll small ball for a while, and then he'll just go berserk and start pouring chips into the pot. I'm sure you've seen this over the years. The gear switch with him is very real and unpredictable, so we shall see.
Is it unfairly characterized as steam from time to time, when in actuality it's just part of balance?
I suppose, although I think the steam is legit for almost all of us at times, but I suppose pretty one for Hellmuth, dark check. Antonio now with the Broadway wraparound is a pretty natural stab, and with the 5, 6, 7 no backdoor, I think we're out with the backdoor. Maybe we spice it up here and there.
First one, I think.
It does feel like pot A, doesn't it, for
Not
Antonio?
your first.
He had a chop. Baby steps.
Heads up can be weird too. You can hit these little cold pockets. Remember, in a ring game, you get to take some hands off if you're card dead, so on. But heads up, you're just in the trenches every single hand.
Check that stat, by the way, Nick. At one point, Antonio, as I mentioned at the top of the show, was the winningest tournament player of all time on the heels of winning the 1-drop. And now he sits at 15th. That's how big some of these prize pools have become.
Well,
and here we have the opportunity for a $12.8 million payday for
I mean,
somebody.
it's a ways off, but right. I mean, Antonio had his day in live tournaments, and it was a legendary, iconic day. He's an all-time player. He performed at the highest levels, and he got it done. Variants, this and that. Guy got it done. He won the biggest tournament ever in 2012, the 1-drop for 18 million and change.
Yep.
Rachel,
Hoisted up, barefoot.
The best player in the world, or is it
Antonio Esfandiari. Yeah, I mean, we know what it is. There he is.
Such a proud papa has taken time off of playing professionally to focus on his kids. In fact, Antonio only had 82,000 in total live winnings in 2019, and he logged that 82,000 in the main. If you're going to show up, pick up a little cashish.
Why not?
Why not?
Couple of 6s. It's like the 4 deuce not electing to fight. Who do you think the favorite is here, Ali? Just in your gut. I know we try to stay objective here.
Yeah, I mean, Phil's accomplishments speak for themselves. I think he doesn't get the respect that he deserves from a significant portion of the poker community, and yet he shows up and he's managed to be a proverbial nuclear cockroach. You're not going to get rid of the guy. He's out here, he's posting results, right? That said, if there is one person to pick out of the poker community that can really get to him and get inside his head and discombobulate him,
there it is.
he's sitting across from him right now in Antonio.
Okay.
So I think I like Esfandiari.
Kind of like maybe a shoot up from Antonio over the limp. Not a huge deal, but Jack-8 suited. I mean, this is like a really kind of nice hand. And for Phil, of course, we're continuing. We're in a bad spot. We're continuing in the form of a raise.
Reckless?
I wouldn't say reckless. It's top pair. I'm not crazy about it, but
texture didn't improve on the turn, though.
Well, the texture, I mean, and we have another chop. Antonio cannot seem to have the kicker play.
And yeah, you see him shaking his head.
You're pretty special. Pretty special, boy.
And he was open-ended too, which for some reason makes it sicker.
Right.
I don't know why, but you have the prettiness in the turn.
I thought I was the one that was supposed to do all the whining. Antonio, aren't I the one that's supposed to do all the whining?
Well, when you hit every hand, you make 2 full houses, you chop 2 times when you're behind, why would you be whining? I mean, I get it. I would.
Ace queen for Esfandiari. 3 to play.
Of course, we're raising, and for Hellmuth, we have a defend. Jack 8 off. It's not the most pleasant affair, but it's heads-up poker. There's a lot of stuff going on. We have to see a flop.
Dark check again from Hellmuth, and he's got middle pair against top pair. That's a problem.
It is a problem, and if the board runs out dry, it's one of these spots where
9,000.
he's really going with the see where I'm at, kind of put the amount of chips in the pot that your hand sort of warrant. Hellmuth is weird because he almost is like a computer in a weird way. It's not always refined, but if he has a little shred of the board, he just puts some chips in and just gives you a little look-see. So it's annoying. He's pesky, he's pokey, but here we see he's running into top pair, top kicker. Let's see, we could have one brewing.
So less quad-core processor, more vacuum tube.
There it is. I mean,
fair.
We have a 3-bet, and now let's see if Phil elects to fight or not.
These are the problems that present
does,
themselves
I
when we open the action with the check raise.
Right,
He
I
does
guess he
defend.
snapped.
Now a third spade is problematic, potentially. Neither player holds a flush draw.
And
Hellmuth checks.
And this is an interesting spot for Esfandiari. Top pair, top kicker, he knows his good. He does like to check back.
Yeah, pot control.
Sometimes his sense of sniff is so good, he'll still go for it. Just kind of putting his opponent on a worse queen or a jack, but he's checking. Let's see, he's considering value.
How often is Phil checking 2 streets having made spades on the turn? Seldom.
It's possible. He would certainly check turn as played.
Sure.
So river now where Esfandiari might have connected with ace-10, as we see he is kind of going for the thin value. I would probably be content to just check here. It is what it is. Middle pair, 3 spades, there's a straight. I don't know.
Oh,
What do
I'm
we
sorry,
have to
what is it?
prove?
Oh, how much longer do I have?
Time bank.
I didn't even know.
I think he knows he has the best hand, but it's annoying because Hellmuth folds a lot. So it's one of these spots where when we're beat, it sucks. He does go for it, though, so bravo. I mean, he believes he has the best hand. He's putting chips in.
Oh,
Wow, and he gets snapped. So, I mean, let's go, Antonio. Bravo. Very well done. Very well done. Beautiful value bet there. Not so easy, Ali, on the 3 spades, jack, queen, king situation with just queens. I mean, that was really well done.
It's not how you imagine a dairy farmer to be dressed, but the milking he
The
did.
worst run out, too. If it came just a blank on the turn, oh.
Yes,
Oh,
Ali,
you were
yeah.
unlucky that hand too, huh?
I mean, I could have got a lot more.
You're unbelievable.
Wow.
I mean, I'm unlucky. We've been playing for 22 minutes. You should be busted by now. The fact that you're still here with chips, yeah, I'm pretty unlucky.
Truth is, though, that was a gangster little value bet.
Sure.
You know, it just was.
It was a good bet. You bet into the spade and the king.
Right.
Sentiments echoed by the opposition.
It was a really
Put a
good
little
bet.
deuce spade out there.
And that kind of confused Phil a little bit because probably in Phil's mind he thought that the bet was a bit polar. Polarization means either it's the nuts or it's just air.
Right.
But the truth was there's a little middle pair in there. So now you got to watch this guy. And that's what makes Antonio kind of annoying as we see Hellmuth with the bazooka. Let's see how bad this gets.
Kings and 4s against just a king.
Right. I mean, obviously, Antonio isn't going anywhere for the foreseeable future, so this sort of speaks for itself. Top pair very strong and heads up. He also has the king of spades for a little backdoor possibility, and Phil with the kings up. I mean, this one could get pricey for Antonio.
And a modest sizing.
Not so
Oh,
modest.
no, 6. I thought
60%. I mean, pretty big, actually.
Thought he was lighter than he was. You're right. Plenty meaty. Antonio, of course, making the call, an extra 12,000 into the middle, and now the queen of spades, improving Esfandiari's prospects as he picks up the lone flush draw.
A great
check. How'd you
card
do?
for him, not just the
Check.
prospects
Oh,
of
check.
making the flush, but also just a freezer, perhaps. And Hellmuth does check back, and that's a winner for the magician. So, I mean, this is what it is. There it is, flush, second nuts. And I have a feeling if Antonio leads, we will see a very tilted Phil Hellmuth right now. Let's see.
Look at the sizing.
Wow.
He's got the mask, but we could feel it. I mean, you could see past those gold glasses.
What can I beat? I can beat queens.
The
and
lenses
jacks.
will fog.
Yeah.
You can beat 2 pair?
Oh, I flipped. We were all on if you raised me on the flop.
By the way, kings and fours for, you know, hundreds of bigs, a little vulnerable too. We're just all in, but yeah, this is a tough spot. He does
on the
fold.
flop, huh?
Well done. Not
guess
so
I missed
easy.
that.
Antonio can be turning things into a bluff. I mean, so nicely done.
You know what?
We made another pair, Dad.
I think that fold is important, not just for the 16-5 he
Missed the bet,
saves,
Antonio.
but for
Yeah.
the context
slow
of
playing on the
losing a
flop.
couple
I
of
flipped
Sure.
king to
meaty pots
Sure.
and
Really?
then potentially having
Wow.
the lug
Maybe
nuts
I
get
got
loose.
lucky.
Sure.
I was slow playing.
I think you got lucky.
And he's right. He did get lucky. Good read. They're battling right now, Ali. I mean, we're in the, you know what I mean? We're in the heads-up streets.
Yeah. And
All
it
we
is
gotta do fast
refreshing
play and we get it all in there.
that the battle
No, I'll
isn't
just wait.
completely devoid of
Wait for
interaction.
the spade.
Of course. Antonio raising it up with
17,000.
There's
Wow. This is outside of the box. And this is what you were
Somebody's
alluding
a
to
little
before.
steamy over there. Is it a little warmer on that side, or is it
Is it?
both sides? What do you think, Rachel? Is it a little warm over there? Because I sensed a little steam come out of my opponent over there. All right. He wants to dance. Let's dance.
when a wolf smells
Wow.
blood, Nick.
And he is a wolf, believe me. We're talking about a very ruthless individual. Not really the flop for sevens, and Hellmuth does have the gutty, so fortune may favor the brave. I mean, and the 10 of spades for a little dessert, just blocking a few clear, like, let's go kind of hands. So, I mean, this one's probably going Phil's way, and, you know, aggression in poker is often rewarded, so there it is. Yeah.
Nice hand.
Show the 6 of diamonds one time? Okay, take it, Phil. Well done.
And let's flash back to another memory.
What the man? I mean, what the I mean, is this for real? I'd like to just where's the director? I just want to see the director rewind and watch this guy raise me like 33 times and see what I look at every time. And then when I finally do call him with a medium pair, it comes Queen Jack 10. I mean, this is not even real. You've run this good.
He cracked, didn't crack. We finally got him to
You've
crack.
run this good. You've run this good, and I still have 10,000 left.
We thought he
You
was
know
going
why?
to hold it together, you know?
You know why? Because I'm Phil Hellmuth. That's why I still have 10,000. You've run lightning good against me, and I still have 10K left. It's
I
ridiculous.
can't wait till you watch this on TV.
And just another glimpse back at the
Oh, he's gone
very
to a new gear,
long
ladies
history
and
between
gentlemen.
these two.
A new gear Mr. Hellmuth has entered.
That gear is top pair against second
Respect,
pair.
Mr.
And I
Hellmuth.
really like this raise from Phil. Top pair with a king kicker. That king is real for obvious reasons, but you beat all of those sevens with the inferior kicker. You beat things like 5-6. So nice value raise from him. And yeah,
Spade on the turn.
yeah, Phil is an all-time legend. Look at him berating people, being out of his mind. I mean, this is what we're talking about. You
19.
know, you gotta love it. I mean,
Every sport or game needs a villain,
and
so
he-
to speak.
And he's for real. I've seen him shaking at the table with steam. He wears this stuff on his sleeve. It's not an act. Part of it, yeah, of course, we're all aware of what we are, so sometimes it might borderline on you know, like a caricature of himself in a way, but he's for real. This is who he is. He's still out here playing,
His
battling.
turn bet is for real too.
It is.
19,000.
Very well done. You're still ahead of the 7, 8, 9, so on, the 5x, and nice, you know, bravo on him to inflate the pot. And this is
It's an uncomfortable river, isn't it?
yeah,
Slightly.
Esfandiari has a check raise candidate, but I think Phil will just check back.
4-6 is there. 7-8.
Yeah, Esfandiari has the type of hand on the river where you can just start putting tons of chips in the
Nice.
pot, but maybe more of a check raise. And for Hellmuth,
Oh, you were
beautiful
supposed to show
execution.
first that
Take it.
time.
I had a 6. 5. I had a 5. I had 5-6.
That's fair.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
Nick, you and I talked about the masks potentially obscuring some portion of the face, Phil puts a lot of time in the lab trying to pick up the live tells and whatnot. Antonio has spidey senses, but the eyes are supposedly really where it's at, you were saying?
Well, the eyes, Chico, they never lie, you can feel it. I mean, I haven't played live in the post, in the mask era, but they're looking at each other. Those eyeballs, it's a very human thing. I mean, when you look a human being in the eyes, things happen. I mean, they can feel it, and there's weird micro rhythms out there. It's still live poker, but yeah, the lips and the note, all of that does come into play. So, I mean, they have the masks on, as we see.
Look at this turn.
Not really the turn for Esfandiari
whatsoever. Flopped
My
kings
God.
and sixes in position,
Very
had a
quite
stranglehold
brutal.
on the
A
pot.
little bit brutal.
And Hellmuth ends up making trips on the turn, and the check back from Antonio quite astute.
Well done. I mean, he has the king and the 6, so where are those 7s at? And
just hoping he's up against a busted club draw, really, in the second
going with the
check
again. Going with the check call. Okay. You're right.
Man, you are special. You are special. Nice hand.
Interesting that Phil opted for the induction route. Thinking maybe things like 8x,
Special indeed, my friend.
Weird kind of non-showdown hands might put some chips in. So it's reasonable what Phil was doing. I mean, he was trying to induce from nothing.
And listen, I think Antonio
was going in regardless, but
I think Antonio skews to the barrelish side of the spectrum.
7-ball.
Historically, this is the case.
Boop.
Call.
Go.
The limp here with the 10-9. Let's see what the magician has. King 7 off. Okay.
Gut shot straight draw for Antonio to go with the best hand.
I think if Phil stabs, which is not foregone, it looks like he snap-checked. Antonio had a decision, call or raise.
From gutty to open-ender.
Check.
Hellmuth does pick up a gut shot of his own, and now pairs the 10 on the river to make a winner.
Fairly uneventful. Take it. Antonio could have stabbed turn, but it's fine.
Well, there it is. The 20 million winners club. But the career live cashes where the big disparity along with the bracelets really lies. But, again, Antonio has just admitted that he's really been taking it easy the last couple of years. He says that his time with his kids is irreplaceable. If he were out grinding on the felt,
all right,
he'd
with
miss
the
out
kids.
on this.
Listen, we all love our kids. I mean, sometimes you got to get out there and play some time. I mean, everybody's got their own path, But, I mean, they're both legends. Phil's prowess at the World Series is undeniable. I mean, it is. He's in there battling every single summer. It's what he does. Come and get it. Right now, he's got the most bracelets.
To stay hungry when you've dined at this restaurant this often.
That's what makes him so kind of just iconic to me, at least. It's like that does something for the game. His hunger is just irreplaceable.
An ace king heads up.
What happened here pre-Ali? Was it a
button?
Did
I
he
assume Esfandiari's raise was just defended by Hellmuth. I don't believe he 3-bet as he's checking this Jack-6 deuce flop. And
so he just flatted.
Is he going to get creative? No.
No.
Check.
The 12,000 chip C-bet with 7 high.
An ace-king offsuit this deep, it isn't like we're so excited to inflate the pot out of position,
but we love the deuce on the turn.
At times it's necessary. We do love the deuce on the turn. Perhaps we would prefer a spade for sort of obvious reasons. And Antonio, with just zilch, is doing it. He's continuing, and as we see, we have a sticky Hellmuth, at least as far as cutting out the call, and he does call. We have ace-king. I mean, hand is quite strong so far.
Unimproved on the river is Hellmuth as Esfandiari binks a 7. And will he go for value?
Well,
no,
hang on,
he checks
Ali.
back.
Let's just see what Phil has to say about this one.
Wait for it.
Maybe nothing's coming. I mean, he might be reflecting on
That's the Antonio that I know and love right there.
I was going to win anyway. If the 7 don't come, you're getting the whole bullet, the whole enchilada. You're going to call me with ace high? I don't think so.
I'm calling at least 50. I don't think you bet more than that. You were going to win it all anyway. That's
Tell you
your
what, this
excuse for
Persian
blowing it off with 7.
Los
True,
Angeles
I was going to give you a
animal
massive barrel on the river.
is not scared to get in there with just
Same way when I
dust.
played Queens.
I solved the problem, you know?
We're a resourceful bunch.
You don't have a comment about how lucky I was in that hand? You had a 6 out.
You didn't
under the
actually,
river?
I didn't actually get lucky. I was going to win the pot anyway. You got
Right.
lucky that you didn't get bluffed for a big pot on TV.
Like, I'm
That's
not
the
gonna-
only
Wow.
difference.
I'm snapping 50,000.
That's the only
Wow.
difference. The only difference is you didn't get bluffed.
So you have a
big.
very interesting way to look at
Well,
life,
it's true.
Antonio.
Life.
It's not true.
You're going to call me on the river for
We've
the
zoomed
whole
out.
thing?
Muth with the
Ace high?
10
50.
Dewey. It's like
I
a
might
limp.
call all of it. Why not?
Yeah, right. Check.
You bluffed off your money to me 100 times the night we played. I mean, that's what I came here to pick off your bluff. So why do you think I checked Ace King in the dark?
Check.
Never folding. The minute I re-raise you, I'm never folding. I'm just gonna let you bluff off your money, bro. Come on. what do you think?
Yum.
Yeah, now everything's good. Now that you called 12,000 with a 7-5 offsuit and barreled all 3 barrels. Now everything's good. You want everything back in that one pot, playing like crap.
Well, I had 7-5. I already had 4,000 in there. What do you want me to do? Fold for 8,000? I mean,
No, I counted on you not folding.
How can I fold?
By the way,
It's my first re-raise. I might not re-raise you for an hour.
I
But when I do
understand.
re-raise you, I 100% expect you to call.
Of course.
And try to bluff.
I do. We do what we're supposed to do. You're supposed to trap me, and I'm supposed to bluff into you.
Yep.
And we both do what we're supposed to do. 3,000. Sorry.
Raise 3,000.
we did 3-bet that one pre. Our bet. I have 7 off. We were off chirping. I mean, Antonio will get out there with some dust. It makes it very, very
It's disheartening.
difficult.
God, it
But
would've
having
been so
said
fun to
that,
snap 50,000 on the river there.
You weren't snapping
You would have been down
shit.
to 175.
Yeah.
You would have been, and then I'm
He's
just gonna take
frustrated,
you off
Ollie.
quickly.
Yeah, that would not have been good. That would not have been
You're
good.
done.
Yeah, I was done. You catch me there, I'm toast.
It's
But you're
done.
not going to catch me.
What do you mean I'm not going to catch you?
You're not going to get me.
I would have called. My.
You were getting the whole thing.
Maybe the match is over then. Maybe I just win it. I told you that my best scenario is to call you down a 3rd pair for your whole stack on the
Same
river.
thing with ace high there.
Exactly. That was my best scenario.
I mean, in the words of the great Gus Hansen,
You
we'll
already
never
know.
know what would have happened on those rivers. We will never know.
Boy, I hope we get a glimpse of Gus in this format.
Oh, Gussie could get in there. Who knows? You think Gussie can't find 800 or a $1.06 to get in there
We got
and
him
swing?
steamed
A
up.
lot of people
Ladies
might
and
come out of the
gentlemen,
works, but
can
here
we
we
get a
go.
close-up of Phil Hellmuth? He's
Wow.
a little steamed up.
He is.
I'm not steamed up at all.
Oh.
I already know the future.
No
In about a half an
future.
hour, I'm going to re-raise you with kings, and then somehow you're going to come with 7-8, and I'm going to check every street.
I'll barrel.
You'll barrel.
Oh, we got a little snag. Phil going high and tight, by the way, with the, the hair.
Yeah, is this private first class Hellmuth?
Phil's looking like a, even know. I mean, okay. There he is again with the 7-5 off. Looks like we have a defend from Hellmuth. Okay.
Limp pot, both players. Flopping the 5.
Well,
Advantage
this is what I
Hellmuth.
expect. Raise every button, bet every flop.
Correct. I'm like
Oh,
Allstate. You can
they
count
shared
on
the
me.
7, not the 5. I
Right?
stand corrected. My apologies.
And a hair of truth to what Phil just said. They'll
God,
raise
it's gonna
every,
be so
every
much
button,
fun
bet
to
every
call
flop.
snap
You can
50
expect
on whatever
Antonio
that
to do
Oh
a lot
my
of
gosh, I
stabbing.
would've
on
You
this.
would have said
So
50, and
tilted.
I would have said call. Boom, that quick.
I would have been so tilted.
My match might be over there because I think it would really bother you.
Yeah, that would have.
Because you thought you were going to run me over. Just because you ran me over once. You thought you were going to come in and run me over.
Once. I've been running over you for 15 years. What do you mean once?
Wow.
Go.
No, you got it in dead last time we played a heads-up match on NBC Heads Up.
And you know what? I know this is balancing out the trash and all of that, and he's going with the limping strategy, but King Queen in position.
Let us charge our
It's
opposition
the kind of thing
a premium.
you dream about. King Queen in position heads up. Different strokes for
It would've
different
been
folks.
So much
He's
fun.
done
It
with
would
the
have looked so
limps,
good to
but
the kids. Everybody would have been like, what a
You would have
call.
been a genius.
Oh,
Absolute
it's just
genius.
so. It's like I'm steering you. I can see exactly what you're going to do. It's like I'm steering you. You know what I mean?
kids might have liked that call, Ali. The ace of spades is actually good on the river because he shouldn't be bluffing with the ace of spades. Hellmuth is a genius.
Well, not every hand.
This is the Antonio effect, though, Nick.
It is.
It's Hellmuth
I lost
wanting
too
to
much
catch
time.
him. It's almost like he wants to embarrass him.
Right.
As opposed to maybe focus a little bit more on just simple profitability.
Antonio's riled me up before at the table. Where I'm like, I'm gonna bust this guy, like, you know. And then I reflect, and I'm like, well, maybe the joke was on me. He's annoying. He's got a lot of swag.
Oh, you checked? Sorry. Did he check?
I checked, yeah.
He's always poking around.
Yeah.
See Hellmuth with king high. Let's see Esfandiari with the gutty, but the unders comes with 3K.
that?
Looks like Phil's coming with the call.
just gonna
Okay,
take
king
a
high,
sip
some
of
back
coffee, is that okay?
doors,
I checked.
and the dark check. And this is the kind of board where you might want to, you know, take a look at the turn and consider leading, but
If anyone deserves it,
check,
it's
check,
Antonio
check.
pairs
you
the
know?
4. It turns into 4s and 5s, which now gives Hellmuth the 8 high straight after no action on the turn. Another check on the river as you see Phil just trying to bait Antonio.
And in Phil's defense, Antonio is willing to bet for value thinly. Even 5s up. I mean, it's just 5s up. We have the straight on the board, all of this. As Hellmuth often does, he kind of jockeys with his chips and then reevaluates. So I kind of liked leading, but bravo Phil Hellmuth, because he knows Esfandiari will go for value.
32,000.
Shoots it up, and Esfandiari has an awkward decision on his hands. Looks like he snap folds, so well
I
done.
apologize.
Take it down, Phil. Nice check too, because he probably would have led for a
I
smaller
was only
amount.
kidding, Phil.
So he maximized.
Just kidding. My bad.
Hellmuth staying busy away from the felt on the New York Times bestseller list. Positivity, I think, his most recent release.
James Joyce over here. I mean, look at this guy. he's everywhere.
The Cards of Wrath. Would that be the memoir?
Right. Stream of consciousness about 08.
King 5 deuce here, giving Esfandiari middle pair. And swing and a miss for Hellmuth.
2,000.
He's got the queen high. Can check.
Just a 2K probe.
Little tickle from Antonio.
Yeah.
Take it. Get that equity out of there.
Well, he started off up against the ropes a little bit as it was all Hellmuth, but now Antonio has
Time to
rallied.
Pro-fish to
More
get
high
lucky.
stakes duels still to come.
I think it
Did he
is.
check raise me?
Yeah.
You reckon you can do 50?
You want to bet? 50 push-ups, this guy?
50 push-ups?
Would you like to maybe do a little financial wager on that?
He wants to bet 5,000 that he can do 50 push-ups.
But you got to go all the way down. No, that's not a point. No, your chest has got to go to the ground. That's good.
Good. All right, let's go.
They have to touch.
Okay.
If you break the plates, you lose the bet. You lose the bet.
Okay, 35.
You can do it, kid. Up, no.
I'm hitting the plate every time. He's hitting the plate. He is.
With a fist for sure. Fist is easy.
All right, he's right around there. Okay, good job. Let's play poker.
Nice job. Antonio.
So many things about that clip are insane that, I mean, I think it speaks for itself. But let's just say this. 50 push-ups is not that easy. I mean, this guy's done it all.
Did you catch Patrick in the background?
I saw the whole thing.
50 is very easy.
Yeah,
Patrick.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, Patrick's a great job. But we have the steamy Negreanu. Let's go. We got Nick Cassavetes. Got the whole thing.
That would have hurt me.
You've been doing any?
That would have really hurt me. More.
You've been doing any push-ups since quarantine, honey? Or what's going on?
Just don't make me feel bad about it,
Ali's
man.
looking like Roseanne Barr in here. No, listen. Listen
knew
to
I had to
me.
get you
It
off
happens.
I got a
no.
one-pack, Nick.
A one-pack?
Yeah.
You got a no-pack, my friend. I don't, listen, you got to get it together.
Yeah, you were getting called.
You got to get out there, go for some walks. I mean, this is
Walks
crazy.
are not going to remedy what I'm toting around here.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're all, hey,
I had so many things going through my head like, oh man, what am I going to do here on the river? Why'd you get yourself in this situation? I'm always like, why did you get yourself in this situation?
Me too, Antonio.
And I'm the perfect guy to get
Every
in those
time I visit the
situations.
fridge.
Well, you do trap me quite well, Phil. I'll give you that. No question.
You know, the night you beat me, you
Okay.
beat every time I jacked, you beat me with 6-8 suited. I remember that night. well.
Upstairs with the
hands,
king 7.
I don't think you can repeat it.
Looks like a winner.
Jack 3, no
Yeah.
defend.
I got to give you a reason to raise every button. I've only played one match in my life where somebody raised every button. It was Doc Sands.
Didn't I call one?
I think you called one.
I just keep getting good hands on the button. It's crazy.
9-4 suited.
9-4 suited. Let's go.
King 10 offsuit.
And let's see, does he continue to limp? Does.
Indeed.
Trap poker.
Trappy.
And the Jack 3 suited gets a free peek at King Queen 5 top pair against Dust.
2.
2,000.
Damn.
Easy check fold for Antonio.
You have something?
Yeah.
And you note stylistically here,
Me, so I had to lead for 2.
in the early going, Phil, a lot of this limping, a lot of this
Pretty big
small
one.
ball. Antonio willing to play larger pots. Advantage Antonio in that
I was only
respect?
disappointed with one hand where I limped. I flopped a set and you folded for 1,000.
Today?
Yeah.
You made a set?
Yeah, and you made nothing.
I think there's an element of fortune favors the
I
brave
just check
and heads
folded?
up, but
Good for me.
we shall see. Let's see.
It's one of those things where he's
That's
got the
true.
right nose to keep himself out of trouble
Right.
more often than not.
Yeah. See middle pair here, strong.
Jack 10-4, 2 diamonds.
Hellmuth just with
Check.
the unders. But we're open-ended, so perhaps we have a stab. Looks like he goes with check. Antonio with 6, and an awkward spot for Hellmuth.
The raise here.
The raise?
Why do you check that?
You should always do what you feel like doing, Phil. Tell him, Rachel. Right? That's what life is about.
Rachel, the dental hygienist,
he's gonna call.
at the
Interesting.
table. Doubling as a
Interesting turn
dealer.
of events.
Comes with the call.
Now
Check.
Phil pairs his 7. Third pair. And a
Call.
third barrel, I believe, here
That's
from
snap.
Antonio.
Nice value bet from Antonio.
Good bet.
This speaks for itself. Take it down.
And those are the ones that really get under Phil's skin. When he gets taken to Value Town on the river by marginal holdings.
I'll tell you this.
It's a little unlucky. Very unlucky river for me.
A trip to Value Town is unpleasant. It just truly is.
Unless you're the guy that's booking your opponent the tickets. Antonio splitting his time between the beach in the LA area and Las Vegas. Of course, some of that time away from poker was spent in the gym. I know you're a
You
fan
didn't
of
come
the
to
sweet
fold,
science.
Antonio.
Science,
Did
baby.
you happen to watch that Kevin Hart Antonio boxing match?
No, I didn't watch that. I'm a fan of the sweet science.
Hey,
Ollie,
there's
you
nothing
understand?
sweeter than getting 35 to 1
I hear you.
for over 300
yeah,
grand.
play, no? I gotta
I
play my
missed that
tournament.
one, but bravo. Me got it done. They have weight classes for a reason, I
We
guess.
can have dinner if you don't mind me playing at the same time.
Bet you he would have cleared 50
see him
push-ups
soon.
with ease
Yeah.
by the
Yeah,
time his
yeah.
training
Yeah,
was
a little
done.
bit of an athlete, though. Listen, 50's 50. Big slick over here. Button.
5.
Shoots it up to 5. And Hellmuth with a pretty one. Heads up, 4-3 suited. Very playable. You know,
Check.
can even
Ooh.
do a bit of raising. And what a nice flop that is.
Bottom pair and the flush draw against
11.
ace high. And in comes the raise after Antonio. Continuation bet his button.
And I like this from Phil. We just have a huge hand. A pair, a flush draw. Off we go. Esfandiari sticky with ace king. It's reasonable.
Draw heavy board, so obviously
Right.
he's going to look to see what develops. Now a 3 of hearts on the turn, giving Phil bottom 2.
And this will be awkward. Let's see what sizing Hellmuth goes with. Just to begin kind of evaluating whether Esfandiari has it continue. Perhaps we continue, maybe bluff
16.
heart rivers. He goes with half pot, and this is just one of these only the gods kind of know what to do sort of spots. I think we continue sometimes. It's very reasonable to call. We're ahead of things like 8-10, 8-jack, Jack-10.
Are you going to
Just
tell me when
stone
it's close to my
dust.
time or no?
We don't
Yes,
have
'cause
a
you didn't
spade
tell
in
me
our
when I used
hand,
my
which is
time
sort of
extension.
good for us because we want Hellmuth to have a spade draw.
Okay, but when I used my time extension, did
Perhaps
you tell me 10
ace king
seconds
with
or
the
no?
king of spades
You
is
did? Okay.
worse to call with than
Thank
this
you.
one, but he does bow out. And well done, Antonio, drawing dead. So nice fold, Ali.
Well, there was no bowing
Yeah,
out
Philly boy.
back in 2018 when Phil won
Well
number
done, well done.
15.
You happy with yourself?
threes. You don't like calling off, but he does.
You don't love it, but he's ready to gamble.
There's a 9. Oh, and there's a 3! Oh, and there's a 3! Lansky could be drawing dead after the turn.
There it
and he is.
Oh, that's it.
That is it. Right. Phil Hellmuth, the poker brat, wins bracelet number 15.
What a battle.
What a battle.
So gracious in victory. There it is, bracelet, sweet bracelet number 15.
Honey, am I dreaming? Is this real?
Check.
I was there that night.
Yeah.
And bumped into Phil shortly
I
after
saw
he
him
won
the
that
next
bracelet.
day. He was
It's real for
really
him, man.
cloud 9. Of course it is. It's
But
real for everybody.
You'd think
I mean.
there would be some measure of apathy. Those of us who are longer in the tooth in poker, the needle takes a lot to be moved. He was as excited as any other point that I've seen him.
When it comes to the World Series of Poker, the most, I don't know what the word is, identifiable brand in the game.
Yeah, the
He
Queen of
has
Hearts
the
too,
most success, at least in terms of the bracelet, the coveted
I play a little
kind
trap
of
poker myself, you know.
prize and tournament poker. Then anybody say likes to rack them up, man.
Queen
No
9
apathy there.
doesn't have to be good when I limp in.
Raise.
Just folded 3 buttons.
Dark raise.
We have a dark raise. Let's go, gentlemen. I mean,
This is a $50,000 heads-up freeze
Dark
out,
raise
and we've
works.
got dark
Oh, no
raises.
problem.
you do.
No
Runs
problem at all.
pretty well on the dark
Why
raise
wouldn't you
too.
put
The
when I
Ninas.
have dark raise, wake up with 9s? I made a pair, Dad. Pocket 9s.
Well, you would have had 9 deuce in a world of hurt.
There's pops here in the foreground.
Your parents ever come out to sweat you in
Man,
any
the
like
masks
major
are really,
spots or anything? Have
restricting
they
as far as
gotten on a plane and
banter.
Yeah.
been there to support Nikki?
Yeah.
It's like sweating
yeah.
in here when I talk.
A little bit.
Make you nervous?
I wouldn't say nervous, but it's one of those things, you know. It's the folks. It's like, you know what I mean?
You don't want to let them down.
Yeah.
King 7 deuce dry board here. Bottom pair for Esfandiari as his 9 deuce hops way out in front of the 9-8. Hellmuth with these sprinkles, and now hits the 8 on the turn to jump in front.
And these are awkward. The pair with the live kicker, it has been sort of determined by the global poker kind of think tank that these hands are pretty good on the turn. Let's try to hit. Let's see what's what. Antonio does continue. Probably we have a check here, winner for Hellmuth, but maybe we can go for value. Let's see.
Oh, look
Let's
at
go
this.
for value.
Yeah. Give him a taste of his own medicine.
And this is an awkward spot for Antonio, but we really kind of don't want the 9, I think, if we're Esfandiari, because we really want Hellmuth to have 9-5, 9-6, 9-10, 9-jack. I think something like ace-deuce would be a better call, or even deuce-3. It matters. If we have a card that he could responsibly barrel the turn with, that might turn into a bluff here. It doesn't matter. Very nice value bet from Phil Hellmuth, and we're deep in these streets, buddy. I mean, nice bet.
And that's going to allow Phil to brim with a little confidence.
Oh, he's feeling
that was
good.
an important little third barrel.
Right.
As he tries to string together a little rally. Got off to a fast start, did Hellmuth.
It's about time I got dealt jacks, re-raised you, flopped a set, and we just somehow get it all in.
He says crazy stuff
This
like
hand
this,
maybe is
but,
a good hand.
respect.
This could be the one.
Esfandiari
1,000?
rallied back, and now here we are.
3 deuce offsuit, finally. He relinquishes a button. Hellmuth alludes to with the little speech about how he folded.
I was looking just in case. You folded a button?
Yeah, I didn't have a good hand.
It's the first time we folded a button.
Well, my cards were bad. What do you want me to do? I don't want to play bad cards. Then I get myself in bad spots. Against the world's best, I don't play bad cards. Against the fish, I would play bad cards. But not against you.
Call.
Go.
Button limp from Phil. 10-4 off, turns into top pair on the 10-9 deuce board. And we know Antonio's got a 5 at minimum. Not a very scary bit of kit on this board texture. As the board pairs on the turn, on the heels of the checks. Another round of knuckles on the turn. Double paired board on the end. Phil finally asks for 2,000.
So warm.
Takes it. Did you get a glimpse at Antonio's pants, by the way?
He's got the bare feet hanging out. This guy's an animal. I mean, this.
It's definitely.
I saw the plaid pants. Yeah,
They're stretchy.
I saw it. They're stretchy and they're tight.
Yeah, it's
I
a Euro fit.
I didn't know if he was wearing a cup or what the story is, but it's like, buddy, I mean, what are we doing here?
Maybe he was happy to see you. I mean,
yeah,
we don't know.
Right. Wow, beautiful one for Hellmuth here. I thought that was suited. It's not suited. It is off. Let's see if he goes with the flat. He kind of likes the small bally approach. It's reasonable this deep, and Esfandiari with the suited connector. Beautiful hand. Shall see.
No, not the board he had in mind. King, Queen, 9, all Hellmuth.
Esfandiari with a stab. I mean, we are really out at sea with this 5-7 of hearts on the King, Queen, 9, diamond, diamond, spade, but
it's a pretty rudderless holding, isn't it?
A little bit. And this is the kind of card maybe we rep, but perhaps a little white flag. But this is a kind of apply heat to things like King X, Queen X. Heads up poker, Queen 6 lurks, King 5 lurks. Things lurk that aren't so tremendous. And ring, when it's middle position versus middle position, you're looking at a range that's very nines, 9-10 suited, King Queen. But heads up, we have the not great kicker thing going on. So if you're going to fire a turn, if you're Antonio, this is the sort of one.
I know, Nick. I know.
I don't know, Phil. It's not so easy, buddy. I hear you, pal.
I can't show him, Nick.
How does he know?
The third best hand and hold him.
How does he know? Seriously.
I can relate to what Phil's
saying.
saying.
You must have right 8
now.
deuce.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's
nice
it's more an issue of what do we do on the end, by the way, when the third barrel comes in. If we don't have a plan, we need to be out of there. And there's another look at the rules of the duel. Winner stays on, but cannot cash out. The loser has the opportunity to challenge. If he doesn't want, or she doesn't want to challenge, then we do have a list of others who have expressed interest, and we'll then step in.
I was telling
I
you
gotta wait
before.
till you raise with 7-5, which will be in 5 minutes.
Before we started, but I
then
tweeted
I
about
can
the
re-raise.
duel is coming.
Go.
Sure.
And I just got a text from
pretty
Jungle
sick
Man.
that
I
you
hadn't
just
heard
folded
from
that
him in
hand.
months, and then the text just said, "Hey," and I knew this man is
Really?
chomping at the
Weird
bit. There's a
thing.
lot of guys out. The Seaver hit me. Hey, listen. Yeah, there's some foaming at the mouth going on, but we'll see. Right now, it's Hellmuth Esfandiari. And I mean, nice stab from Antonio last hand. Maybe Phil could
I
have
can tell you this,
continued. It's
Antonio. I had
not
ace
so
king, and I was never
clear.
planning on folding.
Not so easy.
Oh, come on. Never planning on folding.
I like this table. I like Heads Up Poker, Ali, live. I love
sure,
this, man.
Sure. It's got that that farfalle feel.
A big
the
part
table.
of it does, and a big part of it's not
The bow tie.
Yes, we got it. But
This
a
time
big
you
part
seem
of Heads
weaker,
Up Poker is you
but
get
I'm still
showdowns with people over a course of a session. When you're playing ring with somebody, you might have X amount of showdowns. But heads up, it's a continuous situation where you show down your cards, you reveal a little window into how you play, and then you adjust. Or perhaps you take an approach that's more about the deck than adjustments, but it's all intertwined. And it's a very beautiful form of poker, very harmonious. There's just a lot going on. And the fact that we have live heads-up
I will
poker
promise
going
you
on
this, I
right
don't
now.
think there's a player in the
it's
world that
just
would have lost that little with ace king. And could have been the best hand, but nobody else. Everybody else re-raises before the flop and calls you down. And
Pretty one here for Phil. Comes with the limp. Okay, we got the small ball going. I mean, he's doing his thing.
Oh,
wow, we have a straight
interference.
flush going on. I mean, a big-time interference. I assume Esfandiari shot it up. Got called? Maybe not. I think he did. Yeah,
he
we're
did.
seeing
Yeah.
he did.
7 to play was the number.
A little awkward. I like this check. We have king high. Not many possibilities going on. We check.
And the jack is a welcome sight for Antonio on this turn.
I think this can go either way.
Check or bet, you mean?
I think it can go with check or bet. And for Hellmuth, yeah, a little awkward. He's out. Queen high, the gutty. Maybe we can, yeah, okay.
Too busy bragging? Not busy
I'm
enough
okay with
playing.
that.
Let's get back to playing.
Oh, no.
I agree with you. Not many can fold that hand there. But I mean, it was a pretty bad turn card. But
No, my intent was I'm always raising you with ace king, obviously.
Raise.
I gotta say, I'm slightly surprised that Antonio wasn't ready with the Balenciaga face mask or
he actually, well,
something.
I think
he's playing for the home team. Yes.
I think the family, you know, the PokerGO family, we're deep in these streets worldwide. We have, you know, he has PokerGO adorned on the face, but he actually did come in with some Louis V. He came in with the nicest mask I've ever seen. I'll put it like that. It looked like it cost like $600.
He came with the Vuitton mask.
Red.
That
Satin.
was not my plan.
It was gorgeous. I don't think it does anything to prevent the corona, but it looked unbelievable.
Right,
you know? No, but really, I mean, but yeah, this is yeah. They got the masks on. Okay.
Ace Jack 10 here. Hellmuth with the Broadway gut shot.
Certainly a raisable one for Esfandiari pre, but elects to kind of just go with the passive route. And Hellmuth with king high. The gutty takes it down.
Javier's is open. You like that place?
I do like Javier's. It's not like my, if I'm in Vegas and I want to go out to dinner, it's not my top, you know. But if I want to order food, I'm playing poker or, you know, lunch or something, for sure.
But if you want Mexican, it's top of the notch, don't you think?
It's very good. Raise.
Javier's the Mexican restaurant here at Aria. And if they sold their salsa by the gallon, I'd buy it.
What is happening? This Hellmuth guy's holding like 40% of the hands.
Bomb salsa. Confirmed. Great salsa over there.
What is happening? This Hellmuth guy's folding 40%.
I'll tell you what's happening, Phil. Poker legends.
Yeah.
Stacks of cash.
Hey.
And some of the most memorable cash game moments of all time. You remember it, Nick.
Of course.
Watch every season, every episode of High Stakes Poker, the archive, available now exclusively on PokerGO, and so many memorable hands. Do you have one that stands out? I'm going to go first.
Go.
Brad Booth, Phil Ivey.
Yo, when he shipped like 350 in there
La
on the flop?
Liberte bucks in front of him, and he just savaged Ivey. Did Ivey have the kings in that pot?
Yeah, Ivey, there was 28,000 out there. Brad Booth shipped 350, and Ivey just couldn't take it, and it's understandable, but I think he had a gut shot. He had a little taste. Did he have no taste? Something crazy. High stakes poker just brings out the animal in people. It's something. I mean, what a
midriff.
What a run that show had.
Do you have a hand that stands out better than that one from back then?
I don't have one go-to high stakes hand. When you said it,
Paul, can I order some food, please?
I don't have a hand history from that show, but I just have the whole thing. I do have the Daniel in there, kind of, no disrespect, just getting kind of dusted. I feel like he had a really bad run on there.
Can you guys call over to the burger bar and order a
out
cheeseburger?
to
I'll
me.
go get it myself.
You know what I missed from back then?
Okay.
Talk to me.
Sammy Farha.
Sammy Farha.
How great was he at poker? The dangle.
Standard cheeseburger.
The suit.
With the ketchup and mustard.
Flavor.
Yeah. Those characters have sort of begun to evaporate from the poker scene. Now I don't see them as much.
They're around, but they've gone underground. Now we need to fish those
I'm just curious,
dudes
who's more
out
high maintenance?
and throw them on the screen.
I'm just curious, the guy wants to just stop production.
They're
no
moving
question
weight.
Is if it's an issue
They're
or anything.
dealing
Just,
arm.
I'm not
Who
gonna
knows
wait
what
that
these
long.
guys?
I'm Phil
These
Hellmuth.
guys are out of their
I want my burger in
minds,
10
but we
minutes.
need
So
them right here.
everyone here working on the clock can go F themselves, okay?
Whoa.
Let's make that clear. Let's go.
I think he's a little facetious there.
I think we missed the front end of that. Hellmuth ordering a burger of some sort.
To not even say when is the break. When can I order? I'm just 10 minutes. I'm going. I don't care about anything.
No. When I play poker,
3,000.
Let me explain, Antonio.
You go ahead and explain.
When you
don't ever call me high maintenance again.
You are the prima donna. You are.
Yes, but what you just did was atrocious.
It's not atrocious.
I'll bet you the people at home say it was atrocious.
Every single time I play here, when I get hungry, I can have food within 10 minutes.
Well, now there's a thing called COVID. Have you heard of it? So
yes.
They don't allow for food to come.
Right, so I said I'll just go get my own food.
25 people on staff working to make this show happen should stop because Phil Hellmuth is hungry? Yes or no? I guess the answer is obviously yes, because you made it very clear that in 10 minutes, you're going to get your burger and everyone else can suck it. Check.
It should only take 7, 8 minutes to get a burger. I never play poker when I'm hungry.
Check.
Wow. I think
Listen,
that speaks for
I mean,
itself.
what if I don't want to take a break? What happens then?
I wouldn't want to be opposing counsel in
Not
the
that
court
I
of
would do it,
Esfandiari. He made a pretty compelling case there,
Right.
didn't
By
he?
the way, I do have a bar here.
We eat the bar. Check.
And you do have an open-ender, courtesy of the jack
I'll
on
check.
the turn here as Antonio knuckles his 10s. The leader.
Esfandiari with a candidate to keep firing. Open-ended now on the turn, but okay.
Hellmuth making 5s.
And again, Esfandiari unafraid to give the thin kind of tickle. Takes it down.
And listen, it's not just about that tickle, but it's about the fact that you don't have to get to showdown and give away your holding.
Want to call me high maintenance?
I'm a safety first
did,
kind
I
of
told you,
guy.
prima donna.
But look at this dealer, Ali.
You want to see it?
Yeah.
Guy looks like he's about to.
You think I don't
about
have
to
it?
go welding.
Phil
Hang on.
freaking Hellmuth.
You
Of
ain't
course
got
I have
nothing.
it.
No, you ain't got nothing.
Overpair. And 2 black nines.
Phil
The hand I'm
freaking
famous
Hellmuth.
for.
That's
Phil
Phil
freaking
freaking
Hellmuth. That's who I am. Let's go.
It's just funny coming from you. The guy that thinks 30 people should stop working so you can go get a burger.
If that looked like Paul Pierce in the foreground, it was as we flash back to
Paul,
Goat
what if I
Week
inject
from
this
Poker
in?
After
Truth.
Dark.
I mean,
24?
Antonio's trying to rile him up, and here we go, 24. Let's see what he has. Goat Week on Poker App. Listen, they're both egomaniacs. You know, they're both crazy.
You have to be, though, to get kind of
Yeah,
deep
no,
into
I'm
the
kidding.
streets like these
I'm
guys
kidding,
do.
But I do think
You want to
Antonio
dance?
I'll
trying
check.
to rile him up, and he defends.
like that.
What do they have, Ali?
Flaunt me something here. Ray?
Okay.
Give it to me. You won't know
Hellmuth
what
with
hit
king
him.
5 off. Actually reasonable. The king and the little card is a thing a little bit. We really want Antonio to have 8, 9, so we're all over the place. We're high, we're low. Antonio with ace jack, kind of a good flop. We're a bit naked here if we're Hellmuth. Are we done? He checks now. We can stab or check, I think, if we're Antonio. Stab is reasonable. Of course, we don't want to get raised, but the board is awfully dry. I kind of like this, and this should do it.
I think Antonio is fairly comfortable in the notion that Hellmuth doesn't take these sorts of lines really.
He does.
Like the 3-bet pre and then check raise on the flop.
He could check strength on the flop because he's a little bit pot
Trappy?
control-y, trappy, exactly.
How
But
does he know?
10 jack queen ace speaks for itself. It's strong. It has possibilities. And okay, next hand. Maybe
I
Phil can
would
have
like
his
to
burger soon.
revisit this
I mean,
PPE
I don't want to take a
situation.
break.
There's
I'd like to just keep playing and get this over with.
Prima donna.
I mean, can't you just go get your burger, eat it here, and let's go?
I'd be happy to.
A couple of ladies for Phil.
I've been eating at the tables. I wasn't supposed to.
on the button.
I just don't want to take a long break, so the quicker the better, please.
Blinds have edged up to 1,500, 3,000 here. And Hellmuth limping. He just wants to trap.
He's basically he's just coming with the limp.
This is just his favorite. But look at this. Esfandiari's flopped himself the spade draw.
Yes.
4,000.
Probably we're going to call if we're Antonio. Raising is not out of the realm whatsoever, but it looks like he is reaching.
14,000.
Yeah, 4 turns into 14, and
let's see.
Hellmuth.
It's not as if Antonio wouldn't have defended if Phil had just raised with a suited 10, so it's not like he's totally carved out his path, but off we go. Nice turn for Hellmuth. Now we're ahead of the 8 deuce, which is a little bit of a thing in a limp check pot.
Antonio no longer barreling. So he knows once Hellmuth calls that extra 10,000, something's up.
And I think here we might want to go with a course, kind of like a blocky sizing. He checks. I would have given it just a little sprinkle. Just let him know we're here. Queen, queen, quite strong. Now he's trying to pick off the bluffs. Will Antonio bluff with this 10 high? Bit dicey. We kind of block some hands that we want to fold, but nonetheless, he's doing it. He gets snapped. I think if we're going to bluff this river, if we're Antonio, we want to go with a gargantuan kind of sizing. to really put pressure on everything.
A 7
that
well
isn't
within
great.
his range in that
A
spot.
7 is possible. I would have liked to see like a 2x kind of pot thing if we're going to do it. There he is.
I would have liked to see Phil
Wisconsin
out there in Dairy Country.
362 career live tournament cashes. If you asked me to pick a number out of my mind, I would have thought, man, I don't know. That's a lot of cashes. That's a lot of tournaments.
Well, I mean, he's
Probably
committed
more.
to playing a
Honestly,
full slate.
It's probably more pre-Hendon-Mutt, the 4 Queens days, like the weird ones back in the day.
4
You know what I mean?
queens,
The whole downtown Vegas scene, man. I mean,
that's one of those like 99-cent steak and eggs types of joints, right?
A couple of 9s for Hellmuth, the Jack Deuce for Esfandiari stabbing. Let's see. I mean, we have to take a card off if we're Phil.
Sure.
It's unpleasant, but Queens and 9s heads up. I mean, there's all sorts of hands Antonio can have. Does continue, and let's see, does Esfandiari keep firing?
7 on the turn, doesn't present any problems to the 9s.
Check.
Antonio choosing to check back.
Check.
Check.
King of clubs, obviously an unwelcome sort of card there. Those Broadway draws, the flush draws are there.
We could have maybe leaned on the under pairs to the board if we're Antonio with just Jack Deuce after betting flop, but it's not so clear. I think his hand could have stabbed river sometimes, and perhaps check flop sometimes as well, but such as heads up poker, such as life.
Well, back in 2005, Hellmuth won the very first ever heads-up poker championship. That was back at the Golden Nugget downtown. I was seeing that event.
What a great event that was, by the way. The 64-man field one-on-one. I don't remember the particulars, but just the event itself was just really a nice kind of
March Madness poker edition.
You know what I mean? It's great with the brackets and tournament. I mean, heads-up tournaments are so pure. I'm a pool player, so it's an affinity of mine. The kind of the one-on-one sort of brackets where you have 64, then you have 32, and then you have 16,
I would love to do that.
The tension builds.
Look,
but,
and clearly there are some paths to victory in those brackets that are going to be more minefield than others.
There's some cards.
Of course. We have a limp here for Esfandiari. The draw is huge in tournaments. Maybe we want to raise this one if we're Antonio because it's just so bad. But he's coming with the limp defend. 6-3 off. Some spiciness, Ali.
Will it improve? The answer is no on the ace-ace-8 board.
Was that a dark check from Phil?
I think it was.
A shoot up and
true
a dark
to form.
check.
Yeah.
Maybe Phil's just kind of content to show this queen 10 down.
Well,
now we have to go for a little bit of value because this is quite strong.
7,000.
And it's certainly going to look like perhaps he was laying in the weeds with an ace as well.
I don't know. The limp is fine from Antonio, sure, but maybe we don't need to take a flop with 6-3 off.
I think he just favors his ability to play pots in position against Phil.
He does, but at a point we have to respect just the deck.
You see my dad's shoes?
It's 6-3.
Dad, show your shoes.
Right.
Oh, those are nice.
How cool are those?
Let's see. Let's see. Let's see the bottom.
What do you think there? Come on.
Very nice, Dad.
Dad's got taste.
I don't know.
I was at that store looking at shoes similar to
like
those.
The kind of shoes you'd wear, Ali. With the,
I went with these. They're classics.
I'm not that. I am Persian, and at some point I will graduate into that sense of style.
Flamboyant at times. I mean,
are we going back to my current physique?
No,
because this is an involuntary flamboyance.
Pretty
this
one
is an
here
abdominal.
So, yeah.
Jack 10-4. No pair anywhere.
Probably Phil will check. Maybe we have a little bit of, he does stab. Maybe we have a little bit of a raise candidate for Esfandiari with the back door. The queen high folds. It's all reasonable. With a hand like that, I think everything is on the table, but I would feel compelled to continue with the over card, the backdoor diamonds, the little wraparound straight, and just queen high can win. I think we kind of put chips in still. Look at this.
Wow.
A top 10 money list for 28 straight years.
Try that on.
And then we hit him with a little needle in parentheses, but never #1. Okay.
Do you think put me in the top 10 money list for 28 straight years, and watch how much I can lose in the stock market with those proceeds.
Right. And watch me still be broke.
Check.
Shoots it up, Antonio Hellmuth with the check. Rather, I believe it's a limp. No, it's a dark check. Yes, he shoots it up, defend.
10-7-6.
And the
Some fun for
patented
everyone.
dark check.
Esfandiari was second pair, jack kicker. Hellmuth with bottom pair, but that gut shot straight draw, facing the 11K bet.
I kind of think Antonio has a nice check candidate here with middle pair and not too many possibilities in it. And Hellmuth has a hand that can raise sometimes, for sure. But he goes with the check call.
Neither player minds this 10 pairing on the turn. Doesn't
right, and I
complicate the affair.
I like this bet from Antonio. The jack kicker is real here. The inferior 7x lurks, the 6x lurks, and other things just like queen 8, which sometimes raise and give you unfortunateness, but not this time. So a nice value bet from Antonio.
Oh, and now he hits the jack for good measure.
And if he bets here, which probably he will, although it is, of course, awkward, just because what calls you. And I would rather bet a jack without a 7 because we really want Phil to have a 7. But having said that, it's still jacks and 10s. And what a dicey situation for Hellmuth. These are unpleasant. We beat things like 8-5, 8-4, so on and so forth. All of those, the 8x, 9x. Oh, we almost had a stand, but...
10 seconds.
I think we'd rather call a 6 without an 8. We really want Antonio to kind of have an 8.
We're blocking the busted draw.
We're blocking the busted draw, exactly, playing heads-up poker. 8-9, of course, is the straight, but 8-5, 8-4, 8-3, 8-queen, so on are all misses. I think we'd rather call here with something like 6-deuce.
And this stuff's all going through Phil's head here as we see him exercise his first time extension.
Yeah,
He's got the call measured out.
It's a weird spot. Pays it off, Ali, and
this one's gonna sting a little.
Well, it's a stinger. Confirmed. Takes it well.
But the blinds at 1,500 and 3,000. These guys are still tremendously deep.
Of course. Nice hand.
Thank you, sir. We are back in business.
You know, as authentic as I know Antonio's disposition at the table is, he is a jovial guy.
9,000. Ooh, we got a steamy burger over there.
That there is an example of, I think, him really embellishing
it does, right?
to solicit an advantage. Whether it's autopilot
said I was steaming
or conscious.
That happened before. In all the years I've filmed, I've never had a dealer say that I was.
No. Ray, is it intimidating dealing to the best player in the world?
He had the hum earlier.
Be honest. He can take it. He's strong.
Phil has a point, too. We don't, the dealer doesn't need to say steaming. Great dealer over there, but, you know. You're absolutely right, Ali. Antonio is a master at getting under your skin, point blank, period. It's a part of what he does. He doesn't care. He will go for it. We've seen Phil like only defend a few times with queen jack off. Now he shoots it up.
Yeah, a 3-bet to 22,000, and Antonio already suspects that perhaps he's a hot under the collar.
Oh, wow.
With the 10-8, he defends against the 3-bet in position top pair and a gut shot straight draw up against the open ender buckle up.
And I think we absolutely put chips in here for Antonio, just because this board kind of hits that raise, call the 3-bet range hard. Hellmuth has ace king, ace queen, ace jack. Yeah, maybe it's not his style kind of with those hands, but nonetheless, 26K from Antonio I really like. Hellmuth with the patented cut the call out and then think things over. He does come with the call.
Check.
Pot up to 96,000 for a hearts. Has no impact.
This street is a bit weirder because Hellmuth can go with something like check call with king, etc. Sort of his style. Now maybe we can check. I think we mix here. Go with a little bit of check, a little bit of bet. Looks like he's coming with bet. Nice sniff from Antonio.
And again, in context,
32,000 comes with roughly a third.
there's this sense that perhaps Phil is playing straightforward and isn't in this range of the deck with that pre-flop 3-bet, or maybe he's steamy.
Yeah, I wouldn't say straightforward because I do think he can still have overpairs. And what a great result for Antonio. I mean,
Disappointing run out for the Queen Jack, by the way. There was some real promise to that holding.
Check.
And Antonio's worried.
Queen Eye.
Yeah, after he had 2 barrels get called here, he
he's a bit
shuts it down.
I think he thought it was good, but,
Jacks are better
he
maybe out there.
knows, well, he knows Phil can roll kings over there easily.
And 8, I was going to fire the whole thing, too. Woo!
That's not true.
Think you know 8.
Fucking guy
Oh, the mask is off.
against me. He called 22,000 with 10-8.
Yes.
I had the gin
So when
flop.
have you known me to fold to a raise pre-flop?
Yes.
This plays so bad, heads up. No understanding of the true way you're supposed to play. Plays every
Anytime you want to
fucking-
double the stakes or
Wow.
play for more, add a taser gun, I'm available. I'll come to Vegas to play you every single day for the next year. We can have a contract.
Bro,
every day.
you know, I'll play you every day. I already told
Sure.
you. I'm not afraid.
I'm available.
It's
You
easy.
say it, but you don't actually do it. I'm ready.
I told you I'd play you anytime.
I'm ready.
Anytime.
I'm ready.
But we have to play under these formats where the blinds raise. That's how we play.
Let's just play cash. Put the money on the table.
No, we'll play this format every day.
Why this
Fine,
format?
no
Let's
problem.
play real money.
Why? Because if you're going to
Play
call
man
raises,
poker.
because if you're going to play every hand and you're going to raise and bet in the dark and do all the stuff that's clearly wrong, what do you want?
My button.
Fucking bullshit.
Ooh, we got an extra pinky. Ray, I like your style.
Yeah, no shit. You called with 10-8. I flopped the nut draw on you somehow at top
Raise
pair.
me. Raise me on the flop. We would have got it in.
If I had queens, I would have got it in with you, yes.
I would have got it in on that flop, happily.
Well, if
I
it's
know.
getting a little testy here,
That
let
would
us
be-
flash back to the World
would've
Series
won
of Poker
already.
Europe, where the testiness continued off
You know,
felt.
it really is sick how lucky you've been, but you don't even recognize it. I mean, at least if I ask Ivy if he's been super lucky against me, like when I pick up ace king suited and he picks up aces 7-handed all the time, he'll at least admit he's been lucky. You don't even admit it.
I'll say that I've relatively held over you, but I also believe that I've, played better than you. So what can I do?
Well, I mean, you got all your money in with 2 jacks. I mean, that's typical.
And what was I against? Ace king. I had the best hand. That's what-
Congratulations, you played a coin flip
Game
for all
theory
your
dictates.
chips.
Game theory dictates that you should play the best hand when you have it, right?
That's why you don't have as many titles as you should.
Correct.
Because you play big pots with jacks.
You still have 11 bracelets, and you're the man. So you lost one time. It's no big deal.
No, I'm steaming,
Can I
and why
hug?
does that have to come at 10?
Can I hug?
Well, I'm not going to
Can I
hug you. I'll
hug?
shake your
Give me
hand.
a
I'm not hugging you.
I still
I'll
love
shake
you.
your hand. You know I love you, Antonio. I'll shake your hand all day
All
long,
right.
but right now
I'll see you
feel
later.
like-
Bet. Interesting. Check.
Ended on a good note.
I mean, he shot down the hug, just the
But he
legend,
got in there
the
and got
legend
it anyway.
grows.
He got in there and
kind
it was a
of, but he
one-way
said, "I'll shake your
embrace."
hand." Wow, battle of the threes, chop it up. I mean, maybe don't chop it up, by the way. Okay, Antonio. I mean, that was the golden era of things. Listen, the youngsters out there, by the way, they need to respect
he's
those
standing
who
up
came
again.
before.
We got
These
another
two are out
stand-up.
there flying to London.
Cold drag,
Turning
aisle 1,
hugs
please.
down.
Cold drag, aisle 1.
He goes crazy with 5-7 and hits a 7.
Buttons are being pushed now.
Ray, is there a better show in town? I know the movie theaters are closed, but can you imagine a better show in
legitimately,
town or
I
no?
mean, you could feel it from here.
Ray's probably not going to say another word about the match, so I might leave
Why
him
don't
out of
you
it.
let Ray speak for himself? He's smiling, he's enjoying his life. He loves watching you get abused.
You know what Antonio
Wow.
Dude, it's not cool that you try to enter the dealers into this.
Who
Right.
cares?
The dealers love me,
Come
so why
on.
don't we just play poker, man?
He's trying to get the
Oh,
dealer
it's
on
all
his
serious
side, by the way.
now.
You see this?
Okay, if
You see
Ray
this
said
line?
leave me out of it, I would. I don't think he cares. I think he's just doing just fine. Ray, do you care that I bring you into this or no? See, he doesn't care.
Obviously, nice flop for Phil. And a stoppable one for Antonio with the 5, the heart.
11.
There he is, ladies and
Antonio
gentlemen.
with some savage needles here, bringing the
There
dealer
he
into
is.
You know what he
things.
is?
Getting
He's
the dealer on his side. This
he's
guy's a
that-
sick animal.
He's that lemon juice on the back end of the paper cut.
There it is. I mean, right.
Fucking joke. Fucking 10-8 hand.
It was 10
The
8
guy
suited.
whines
Phil.
about
I mean,
being unlucky. Has no idea. No fucking idea.
This guy put some shoes on.
You've been luckier than me this match. You want to bet on that? I've been luckier than you? Yes.
Well, We'll see how things shape up when we come back. Plenty more high stakes duels still to come. Poker legends, stacks of cash, and some of the most memorable moments of all time. Ivy, Negreanu, Brunson, Dwan, and so many others. Watch every season and episode of High Stakes Poker exclusively on PokerGO. Well, if you think the fountains are dancing out there in Lake Bellagio, you should see what's happening in here.
Noble,
Welcome back
Zen,
to the
I
PokerGO
miss you
studio.
guys. I hope
Ali
you tune in
Nejad,
and watch me
Nick Schulman.
punish Philly boy. Noble, you remember we went to his room at the hotel with the fire pit? I miss you guys. Love you.
You do have the most adorable kids ever.
Thank you.
It's been advantage Antonio of late here as the pendulum has swung back into his corner in this $100,000 round one match.
It's my 2, right? Okay, got it.
First ever high stakes duel.
Who knows where this thing will go, really? It's hard to say.
I hope it goes right to the 12.8 million round 8.
Be great
in the first.
Somebody could hold
attempt.
court too. It's kind of a cool rules format where somebody could sort of just kind of hold court and not get challenged. I mean, we'll see. Like we've sort of touched on. Not that it would
Sevens for
work.
Hellmuth. Second pair here.
Yeah, not a whole lot for Antonio.
7,000.
Let's see. We have a snap lead, and the gin kind of turn card for Antonio. We certainly have a raise candidate here. Open-ended out of nowhere. We block the 4-5.
23K.
Yeah, I like this.
In the
Looks
pot.
like he's reaching.
7?
I think we comes with the call. Okay, both are
Yeah,
okay.
Discombobulated.
And that sort of strange check call then lead line being
Right.
identified
Check.
by Antonio, who's made 5s
Seventh
on the
attempt.
river. 4 to a straight. It goes check, check, and Hellmuth will show down for the spoils.
Antonio kind of knows how sticky Phil is. It just calls reasonable. Come raise the turn. But onward.
So the format does not allow for anyone to cash out until they've won 3 straight. So you've got to play the 1, 2, and 400K matches before you're allowed to cash out. Then once we hit round 4 and beyond, you must win 2 matches before you can cash out. And the money gets real. I would anticipate there's
Real
not
right
too many
now,
people
but I mean,
that
it's-
want to
and
press
it's
at
gonna
3.2 and up.
It's gonna get there. This is a big world. Heads up is different. People love heads up. So we'll see. But like you said, I mean, got to stick around for 3. And I just really love this concept. I don't know. I mean, we're bringing heads up poker back in a kind of different way. But yeah, I like it. Antonio with a little stab there, the gutty 7 high, take it down.
And you know, it's a bit different when we're talking about heads up poker that is not the culmination of an event where you're
Right.
down to your last 2.
Correct.
This is, we start heads up, we finish heads up. There's nowhere to hide it anymore.
And you know what? As played as heads up is in the cash game underworld, tournament-wise, it has not been represented enough. We had the NBC heads up for a while back in the day. The World Series has the 10K heads up. Online, you'll see a few tournaments sprinkled in, but it's not around as it should be. And I mean, this is great. It's one-on-one. It's pure, of course, ring games, 6 max, all of that. It's not going anywhere. But yeah, I mean, digressions. But I'm just excited to see heads up poker. It's beautiful. We see the nut flush here for Antonio.
Speaking of not
shot
going
for
anywhere,
Phil. Right.
Esfandiari has bet 10,000
24.
on the button, and a check raised to 24 out of this gut shot as Hellmuth looking to do a little repping.
And I don't mind this from Phil. We're playing heads up. 6, 7, 9, 10 is a thing. We have fold equity. If that king 3 wasn't of spades, it's out of there. As are many other things, and we can hit the 8. So I think this check raise from Phil's very reasonable.
With 2 to come, could Antonio really just lean back on this and maybe go?
I think we call. We're just delighted to call.
And
call
too deep.
Most turns again. Yeah, a little bit too deep. Our hand's almost too good to kind of. But he does 3-bet. And I mean, probably take it down. I'm not in love with this from Antonio because I think when it goes in, we do get it in sometimes versus the 5, 7 of spades and so on, where king high is good. But I would have gone with call. I think it's a pretty
Now we're
natural
playing
call to
poker
take
at
it
least.
down. And now we are, Phil.
I can end this thing quickly, I think.
Putting in the 80 isn't a declaration of full commitment, is it? Sitting on that 325?
Awfully tough. It kind of is.
A quarter of, yeah.
It is.
And here's another tale of the tape. Who's putting these together? Somebody back there has not been given enough responsibility, and they've just taken some creative license out here. With the boxing is the sport now because Antonio.
Well, buddy, I mean, he boxed one of the most famous celebrities in the world and got it done. I mean, I think it's reasonable to list box. And I mean, listen, you know,
16?
I don't know about the Hellmuth basketball situation. I know he likes.
Didn't he shoot the free throws out in Pittsburgh against somebody recently and Dranoed and like won some prop bet against Sean Deeb or something? I seem to remember.
Maybe he did, yeah. And he's
I think
at the Warrior. He's got a little.
I think he's got a little J on him.
He's got a little Warriors.
Yeah, he's dialed.
involvement. He's in
He's on the
courtside.
wood.
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
He knows some of the ownership group or whatever. He gets into some sweet spots, by the way.
Tell you an amazing story. I mean, off air. I mean, I don't know. I was with an owner of the Warriors. I mean, just real quick. One night at Bellagio, and he was saying Durant is going to sign. This is before Durant signed, and I was like, "There's no way, buddy. There's no way he's going to mess with his legacy because they were already a super team. I just didn't see it."
Yeah. He was on the Thunder with Westbrook.
And I wound up betting this guy 40,000, and he's just signed the next day. The guy's a part owner of the Warriors. What is wrong with me?
Did you know that?
Yes, I knew it.
Well,
but
how pompous are you?
It's not pompous. I just thought that the guy was. I thought it was wishful thinking. I thought it was wishful thinking. That seems so absurd to me. I didn't.
All right, Philly boy.
He's not going to bet you 40,000 unless he knows.
No, he's the kind of guy who would. Anyway, off we go.
Speaking of which, I bumped into Westbrook and Durant floating around together at the Wynn poker room recently. They like to get in there and play. They splash a little.
Westbrook, by the way, has got a little PLO game that he's sitting on.
Okay.
A little snug and, you know, with some sprinkles. Get him on here. Where you at, Russ? Think you can handle the heads-up streets? I mean, we're right here.
Queen 10 tray here as 8-6 suited. Takes on King 5. No pair for either player. That 10 of diamonds was relevant, but
yeah, but the unders.
Yeah.
Stab from Hellmuth takes it.
And it does begin to get a little frustrating if you're Phil, who's always looking to trap. If suddenly Antonio takes this edge that he's built and makes it really tough for Hellmuth to win any sort of big pots and just knuckles down a touch.
Sure.
You're getting value bet for 3 streets, and then when you make a hand, the guy's just never paying you off.
You're right about that 10 of diamonds, too. Just the 6-8-10 on Queen 10-3 with the 3 diamonds. But if you think you're playing somebody who likes to check good hands and kind of bet dust, for lack of a better, now all of a sudden you are more enticed to take these back doors and kind of see where you're at. Nice flop there for Hellmuth.
Yeah, no doubt.
Still very much in this match, obviously. 2-1 kind of chip leads or just north of have been overcome many times in poker. See.
And it's about Hellmuth recognizing that more than us, so that he doesn't look up at the mountain that Antonio's managed to accumulate. Right.
Just keep playing. He deuce off, yeah.
But he is such a competitor, Phil. He hates to lose, and he hates to lose to Antonio in particular, especially when you got to deal with the extracurriculars and, you know.
And just the whole backstory of does Antonio have his numbers? We see the rules of the duel. Heads up, no limit. Blinds escalate every 20 minutes.
Look at that 4th point there.
If the loser declines, challenge seat is open for 30 days. I like that. You have 30 to figure it out. You know, that's reasonable. The cash out rules depend on rounds 1, as you alluded to before. You win 3. Go ahead, get out of here, but you can't before that.
You know what I'd love to do?
I like the 30 days, you know,
right?
It's big money, and, you know, sometimes people need to kind of figure things out. Yes,
money's big.
Yeah.
Right when a guy thinks maybe no one's going to challenge me, I've got this 3.2 locked up, no takers.
Day 29.
Day 29, I place the call.
Timofey Kuznetsov or one of these gorillas, yeah.
I like to apply.
No, I will play.
I will play. Yeah.
Got shot here for Antonio. Nothing at all for Phil. Maybe a stabbable one with the 7 of diamonds. Go with a big size. But looks like he's waving the white flag. This should do it from Antonio. A very natural bluff here. If you're not bluffing with this one, you're really not bluffing at all. 8 of diamonds, very relevant. The 4 and only 8 high. Antonio's tough, Ali. You know, pesky.
Pesky. And it's almost the caption for that photo there. That is a man who's got some pesky under his belt.
That photo is, yeah.
Hero and his best friend. They really do have an extraordinarily close relationship, the two of them.
Check.
Antonio and his dad.
Yeah, very
seems
much
like
so.
It
almost
all
makes
the
me
time,
feel
yeah.
like a slacker son. Like I don't bring dad out to Vegas and hang out, and we go to Burning Man, and we, do all this. I mean, his dad's a legend.
Right.
His dad's right there.
Well, yeah, some dads lay in the cut though, but they still do their thing. A little word of advice here and there, and
Sure.
But these guys are attached at the hip.
Queen 5 for Antonio was top pair on the flop against the middle pair of Hellmuth, as this pot now goes to 38K, courtesy of an 11K bet and call. Now the 8 on the end.
And I like Hellmuth's continue on the turn. It's annoying, but we sort of have to do it, and that's another winner for Esfandiari.
Yeah. This is going to grow tiresome for Phil. Down to 137.
Yeah, we can feel it.
Yeah.
Still quite deep, over 60 bigs. Like, we're okay, but we are getting into that territory now where if a few hands don't go our way, we have problems. As we see Antonio's 2020 tournament winnings of 0, a little bit misleading. First of all, we got the bubonic plague floating around. So, I mean, what are we doing with 2020 stats? But he's semi-retired.
I don't play garbage.
He's living his life.
Play every hand, please. I like that strategy better.
I only play good cards.
Doesn't look any worse for the wearer, Rusty. I mean, the man has every inclination of being right at home. Just,
Don't try to learn and get
in the
better.
saddle.
Just keep calling those big races with 10-8.
I don't know, Ali.
Don't try to learn and get better.
10-8 suited. It's a really pretty hand, heads up.
I don't know why
I would have had to call that
he's
3-bet
taking
too.
issue with it.
Sometimes Phil also, this is a weird part of his table talk where he'll kind of berate you, for lack of a better, about a play that's
all in. All in.
Whoa. Our first all in.
We have a limp jam. I mean, yeah. Antonio, by the way, drawing a line in the sand with 7x.
Oops.
Duh. So, well done from Phil. He'll sort of berate you for a play that's totally standard, but you have to think deep down he knows. He knows 10-8 suited can raise, call a 3-bet, so it's kind of this weird metagamey sort of,
It happens,
sort of thing.
What can I do? I apologize.
Trying to move him off of plays like that, potentially?
You're not going to
My bad.
move Antonio off of. He's going to do what he wants.
You're almost going to further incentivize him if he knows he's going to get a rise out of you like that.
It's just his thing. He'll be like, you're going to play
Poor Ray alone, man. The man's just doing
Ray's
his
fine.
job.
He said he's fine.
The man's just doing his job, for God's sakes, Antonio.
Top pair against bottom pair as it continues to be advantage Antonio. And
9,000.
He's got Phil focused on something other than the poker right now.
He does. He's got the little dealer needles where, and again, we see Hellmuth kind of with a little sprinkle, with just a taste of the board, the kind of see where he's at, defensive, blocky kind of style.
Check raising to 9,000, getting called, now shutting down on the turn.
And right now, objectively, it's just sort of not going his way.
He did turn the open-ender, though. Go with the 4.
And by the way, I
do
do think he had a candidate to kind of keep it going.
I do too.
Even though Antonio has top pair where...
Well, he's got trips now, and he barrels effortlessly.
And what's tricky about Antonio is he's the kind of guy who will bet call a raise on this flop with some weird ones.
Uh-oh.
71.
Oh, I like this. I kind of like this, honestly. Although...
Well, let's unpack it. If we're Antonio, we hold the king. And now this line from Hellmuth looks particularly suspicious, does it not? He's repping the straight.
Everything you just said is spot on, Ali. Well,
10 seconds.
It always looks suspicious heads up because the ranges are so wide, but I like this overcalling from Hellmuth because we have real fold equity here, and Esfandiari has a propensity to go thin. He can bet kings and 10s here where a lot of people would just be happy to check. And that makes him susceptible to plays like this. However, sometimes he just comes with the call Here we see he has trips, but still it's kind of the same thing. Hellmuth is saying he has a straight or better. He blocks something like
How long do I have until?
full houses with the 4, and of course the Jack 9 Ace Jack.
Could it be another
How much
king
more?
that's not that's kicker isn't in play? Or does he not make this check raise with that holding?
It's possible. I feel his style with something like King 7 is to kind of check call, and that's what makes this so weird for Antonio, because again, there's a polarization factor with Hellmuth where he's kind of nutted up or dusty.
You have King 4, King 10. I mean, you don't have pocket 10, so I guess you could have King 10.
Weird spot, Ali. Trying to figure it out. He could take this line with Ace Jack or Jack 9, but it's tough heads up.
I mean, what the hell?
Hellmuth has a lot of heart. Say what you will, but if he's held down for long enough, he will go for it always.
I have until when? 253?
230.
230? 71, right?
Yep.
Do pocket 4s take this line?
Yeah, sure. Why not? It's possible. I think they bet turn most of the time.
Yeah.
But it's possible.
To protect that texture.
Same goes for
is a
King
little
4.
pesky.
It's possible he could check the kind of straight card and have it. Jack 9
Wow.
Ace Jack probably bets, so it's a little bit weird, but nonetheless, he can have value here. He can have the real deal here, Hellmuth. He's tricky, he's weird. He could check at any time with anything. He's just, it's not so easy.
All right. Fold.
Wow, Mr. Phil Hellmuth, bravo. Very well done.
Not often you'll
Beautiful
break me
execution
into applause
there.
in the booth, but
Ship that one over to Wisconsin. I mean, that was nicely done. Okay, it's on.
frequent MC at charity events would appear to pale in comparison to what we bore witness to just there. The Hall of Famer showing why he is still relevant here despite almost 3 decades plus now in the game on the highest level. Just remarkable heart there.
Of course. I mean, he has the aggression button.
Go ahead.
He's got the clip is loaded at all times. He can go berserk. He can do his thing, and he had a nice combo for it. I liked Ray's overcall there with that hand.
I think that's also, when we zoom out, an example, as we see neither player connect
Especially
with the
an opponent
paired
who
flop.
will go thin. You need an opponent who will go
Yeah,
thin. Sorry
sure.
to cut you off, but it's just, you know.
I think he's zooming out and exploiting sort of the overall context. Like, how often is Phil Hellmuth going to have it and has just been waiting all session to be able to catch you with your hand in the cookie jar, to where Antonio has to really ask himself, is this King Deuce good all that often?
Yeah, and it's, having said
All
that.
right, Philly boy. That one stung a little.
Yeah.
Key pot, by the way.
Very key pot. I mean, maybe you pay that one off because you just have him by the throat if it's good. It still trips. And if it's not good, onward we fight, as we see Ace-King here for Antonio. When you're out there, though, there's a straight on the board, all the myriad of full house. I mean, it's tough. I think the default there, you just pay it off with trips, as played. You just pay it off. If you're Antonio,
that's an overly simplistic assessment,
well, I
though,
mean,
of course.
the default from just a theoretical standpoint, maybe you mix in some folds with that hand, sure, but you're paying off a lot there. It's trips.
If you bluff me, it was a genius bluff.
But it was a genius bluff, and
Sure
here we
was.
are, Hellmuth chipping up a little bit, narrowing the gap, 6-6 on the button.
One of the realities of heads-up poker is seldom can you expect to just ride cards and cards alone off into the sunset.
Beautifully
and
put.
so
Correct.
you
Top
must,
set. Wow.
yeah. Well, in this situation, you can certainly
Right.
ride cards as he's
No,
up
but
against
you have
middle
to carve
pair.
out your own lane and heads up.
Correct.
Without a doubt.
A raise from Hellmuth as Antonio let out. He hangs in there. Another 22 into the middle.
A pretty brutal spot for Antonio for clear-cut reasons. It's not so easy to start folding pairs heads up, as we see he's drawing dead. Run into the absolute buzzsaw. Let's see, sizing-wise, maybe if Phil goes with
15?
Goes with half. This is a pretty naked 4, not many possibilities for improvement, but nonetheless he continues, which is utterly standard, and as we said, he's drawing dead, Ali.
3 overcards to the 4s now, officially, after the 10 rolls off on the river. Third, or second check, rather, from Esfandiari, who led the flop. Now with 60 out there.
50.
50,000.
An upsized.
Yeah, he comes with something big, and this is awkward for Antonio. It's kind of weird theoretically. You sort of want the 9 of diamonds because, I don't know. Sometimes they don't bluff flush draws that much. Yeah, the pain is real. I mean, we have a pair. We beat things like 5x, no pair. The weird deuce X, 7-8. Just dust. We lose to all of the value. It's not easy. And he pays it off, so he's folding trips. He's paying off with 4th pair. Hellmuth has him in the chamber right now, Ali. And Phil Hellmuth is back.
Nice hand.
Wow.
And the blinds going up. 2,500, 5,000, I believe, was the declaration from our tournament director, Paul Campbell. There it is, level 6.
And if Phil goes on to win this match, obviously Antonio will be fairly disgusted with the king deuce laydown. Happens, heads up, you're going to get bluffed, but folds trips, pays off with 4th pair. It's tough. I mean, it's the way it goes.
Stay out of the rear view and stare out of the windshield. Shake it off and move forward, young man, is definitely.
Another thing Hellmuth will do is slam 50 bigs out there with hands that can kind of do it. A computer might do that. You know, it's a great hand. You're sure you could 3-bet, you could flat, but he's not afraid to put 40 or 50 bigs out there with something like ace-jack. And it makes you a little annoying, you know, when you have to deal with that.
And he might look like he's speeding a bit here, but it's been legitimate. From top set to ace-jack to ace-king on the heels of that heroic jack-4 play.
Limp with ace-king, so obviously he's balancing out these button limps. He had 10-4 off a while ago, now he's got ace-king, so he's doing his thing.
Paired flop, it goes check-check.
I think we have a pretty natural stab here for Antonio. He does.
Picks up the gut shot.
We have to continue here for Hellmuth, of course, with not only the strength of our ace-king, but just overs, just in case.
Oh, and that's a beautiful card for the ace-king on the end.
It is. Spoken like a true limit hold'em player, Ali.
Yeah.
Value pursuit, I'm not in love with. He does check. Yeah, just a limped pot. I think often in the value pursuit, we just run into the 6, and they fold the dust.
Nice hand.
Does have an ace high sometimes where the king plays, but I like to check, take it down.
Got Antonio on his back foot a bit.
Big momentum shift here.
Sure.
Notice Antonio's a little bit quieter than he was before.
Yep. Losing a pot can be a bit of a silencer.
Yeah, back-to-back stingers. The check raise we'll never know as far as Antonio's seat, and then the payoff with the 4.
Top pair for Esfandiari here, trying to right the ship, slightly listing ever so slightly. Takes that one.
Still has this small chip lead. You just have to kind of reset in these heads-up spots because you know, it's just how it goes. Any heads-up player or somebody who's had experience playing heads-up is very familiar with these momentum shifts and swings, but it can happen fast. You can have the lead in a match. As you know, you've played countless hours of heads-up, mixed games, whatever, hold'em. It can just go. You're here, then you're over here.
Yeah,
so
you blink and then you just shell shock.
You have to stay composed. Stab here from Hellmuth with the bottom pair, the gut shot, and Antonio just queen highs out.
Well, never mind me, Nick. You
Almost
yourself,
neck and
as you know, on your resume is an NBC Heads Up Poker Championship. Now, you didn't win it.
Thank you. Yes, I was
but
in there.
What I'm saying is, you know what it's like
in the first round. No, but I do, and I've played a lot of Heads Up cash and a lot of Heads Up no limit. It's a different game, really. You have to be on and you have to relax and just kind of play. see the spots, but the momentum shifts are very real.
And you got to be there to react when you feel them taking place. There's, you know, you can't just come with one linear approach to a session. I mean, there's a need to shift gears and kind of react to what your opponent is doing. Sometimes you dictate things, sometimes you sit back and allow the opposition to write the script.
Absolutely, and sometimes that's just your role over a stretch of time based on just what's going on with the deck.
Broadway holdings here, advantage ace-queen as Hellmuth limped the jack-10 and then just got away from it after Antonio raised. Interesting. Jack-10 is a decent amount of kid, and Antonio's creative. I mean, but I guess he's snugged up a bit now.
Oh, yeah, but all of the above. Jack-10 is, you know, quite strong heads up. Hellmuth out of there, though, next hand. King-Jack here for Esfandiari, also strong.
Rich part of the deck paying him a visit.
Defend here from Hellmuth with the sort of unpleasant but necessary queen-5 off.
Yeah, paint baby. 10-8-6.
14,000.
So we could do a little bit of check raising with Hellmuth's hand, kind of blocking some continues and whatever, but he does bow out.
Again, it seems like he is, now that he's put those pots together, maybe content to just dial it back, not get into a real swingy situation.
And this is human nature. It's just a poker kind of thing. When you're struggling for a while and then you spin it up, we have a tendency to kind of go conservative for a minute. Just enjoy
every
the
heads-up
fruits
match I
for
play,
a little while.
my opponent wins 60% of the pots.
And you win what percent of the matches?
I've won the last 10 heads-up matches I played.
Wow.
But they always win between
Sorry to have
60
to
and
put a dent in your
70%
streak,
of the
buddy.
pots. They always win between 60 and 70% of the hands.
Slight needle there. He's saying you
Trappy,
take the little
trappy,
ones, kid,
Hellmuthy.
but you know.
But listen, they add up. You seed 60 to 70% of these pots and then win a big one, you might still end up in the red net.
On paper, it's a bad strategy to win 30% of the pots heads up, but we know the gist of what Phil's saying, that he kind of is going to win the big ones.
Well, speaking of big ones, Esfandiari, 5-6 of spades with the deuce 4 of spades out there. Huge draw. So he bets 13,000.
Bit of posturing here.
Okay, Antonio, let you rob me one more.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Just with the plan of you need to give me about 100 this next hand, one of these next hands.
You'll get it. I mean, I paid you off with a 4 in that hand. Don't worry, Hellmuth has a set.
Ali Nejad and Nick Schulman, pleased to have you
Why
with
wouldn't
us
you
here
have
in
a
this first ever High
many
Stakes
sets have
Duel
you
from
made
the
heads up
PokerGo
to?
studio at Aria. Prize pool of $100,000 in round 1, 50K ahead. You see where this could eventually lead to, with a whole cast of characters waiting in the wings. 7 deuce suited for Hellmuth on the button, turns into bottom pair.
7?
7,000.
There's been a lot of interest just from the
I'm
kind of
only
heads up
unhappy with one hand
community.
in the last. I limped with 10 jack, you raised 11K, I should have come in that hand.
It's true, Phil. Should have. I like that.
Can't be folding 10 jack to you.
I like
You
that.
folded
Just
10 jack?
acknowledgement. Kind of.
Yeah,
He's being genuine.
I limped on the button.
How couldn't you fold 10 jack?
Yeah, it was a little tight. Especially now you're raising every hand.
For Antonio.
11,000.
11 to go. Takes it.
This feels more like my normal match. You're winning, you win pots. That's pretty standard. 60, 70% of the pots for you. I just want the match.
Well, as we
Well, you ain't gonna
discussed,
get this one.
seeding
see.
60 to 70% of the pots is generally not the best recipe to cook up the W.
He's saying he's going to land the haymaker, though.
Call.
He does have a tendency to win big pots, Hellmuth. He does. But, again, you don't want to seed 70% of the pots, and he's also exaggerating a little bit. They're in there going back and forth.
7?
I'm sure Antonio rates to win more pots, but anyway, Tony here with bottom pair, the 7 of hearts.
Check calls, 7,000. Third heart on the turn, giving Esfandiari the lone flush draw.
Perhaps we lean on the 8x here if we're Phil, but I could get behind a check as well.
18.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not mad at this.
Having a heart, does Antonio, along with the pair,
That's the question.
does he ever have a fold on this turn?
That is the question. Yeah, I think you can find folds here, but a continue in some capacity, even in the form of a raise, strikes me as reasonable. These spots are awfully tricky.
51.
And he comes at
That's the Antonio I know.
so-
You want to win every pot.
So bravo.
You won 7 out of 8, and you had to go for that one too. That's what I'm counting on. God damn it.
Did he show something there?
You know he's going to give you the money, Phil. Just fucking wait.
Yeah.
Huh? Thanks, bro. You
What's
know he's
650
going to
the time?
give you the money, bro. What are you doing? Just let him steal and just bet big and take the money, Phil.
Well done there from Antonio, because
he doesn't know any better.
he had a candidate to do it, but also maybe a bit of sniff, Ali. Something with the sizing, the sort of cadence of the bet.
Yeah.
High check.
Defend a dark check, dominated, but does bank the 10.
10,000.
I'm not crazy about this stab on this texture from Antonio. but
Right, no
okay.
diamond.
Yeah, maybe we just check and call some turns.
Board pairs. And Hellmuth now checks it. Antonio content to do the same, and 9 on the end.
18,500.
Here comes value from Hellmuth. Not a tough bet to make. The 9 makes it a little tougher for that ace-8 to call, and the fact that he holds the 8, Antonio does, to sort of block the inside straights.
10 seconds.
Yeah, I think if we're
10? Sounds good.
Antonio, we have to fold.
How can I beat that in?
The reasons that you just stated, but
Oh, you're unbelievable.
sometimes curiosity killed the cat, you know, or something like that.
Well, fortunately.
And we do beat the busted dime. The hand can win. Sometimes also Hellmuth is the kind of guy who can check, call, float out of position with just no future. And it's one of those hands where if we win it, it's a huge momentum hand. In a sense, I've been compelled to make calls that are losing in theory, just because if we win it, it's so sweet. Ace high, let's go. But yeah, I think he had to fold that one. It's kind of a bad run out for, you know.
But note
a couple of suited ones here.
Even though our general sentiment here in the booth is that it's all Phil right now, the chip lead still belongs to Antonio by a reasonable margin.
Right?
Ace, ace, queen here, Esfandiari. With 2 pair.
We can go either way if we're Phil here, but check is kind of nice. I would sort of prefer to check king 5 of spades here than
Yeah,
king
bluff,
5 of
bluff
clubs,
cash instead of do
let's say.
anything heroic
With the
or
back
get moved
door
on.
as well, because Antonio sometimes has the lower spades, and we allow those to play a little bit of catch
Speaking
up.
of which, right on cue, 8 of spades on the turn. Hellmuth checks back with that king high flush draw. Does not improve on the river. Antonio does not fire, hoping perhaps to get Phil to put some chips in there.
Right. He could have gone either way on the end, Antonio. The jack kicker is a thing.
Least you could do is
Maybe we do want to go for value, but
Fuck. You raise every fucking hand. Oh, he's supposed to get punished. I've never seen a guy get there so often. Raise every hand. He's trying to win 90% of the pots. I'm supposed to win this match quickly. He just keeps hitting his fucking queen.
11,000.
Outer monologue from Hellmuth.
right.
Sort of his signature.
The steam is real, Ali.
There have been some definite reactor meltdowns throughout the years when I think back on the original Poker After Dark run. Some of the just...
Yeah. What's at 650?
volcanic
The last line for the
eruptions.
tournament. Oh. But I'm here. I'm focused on this now.
7 suited for Phil. Nice one. Looks like he's coming with the limp. Consistent with his strategy so far.
Uh-oh. Ace king
All right,
for
over to
Antonio.
ace king. We have to peel here if we're Phil.
He did fold the Jack 10 off
Yeah,
suit.
but the suited king,
Sure.
this is just a phenomenal hand. All things, you know,
He still hasn't
considered.
called. I was
He's
thinking
in.
maybe he was going to do something
I think he
heroic.
was considering raising even or,
Yeah.
or just posturing a bit, but he's in. Position is real. Let's see.
Well, 10-4 deuce, not in either neighborhood. The ace king does have control, choosing to barrel.
Hellmuth with a vintage kind of impulsively sort of move his chips around. Begins the thought process. The overcard, the backdoor clubs. I think we have to peel with the back doors. Now, I think we want to take a card off, maybe bluff some
Too good,
stuff.
Antonio.
But
You really did go for every hand. All right.
it's just king
I
high.
see it. Let's go.
I think
see
the
it
game has
now.
opened up a little bit.
Feels
Certainly
like it has.
the,
Ali.
some holdings have run into each other that have allowed for that, some textures, but you know, there's a little bit more of a freewheeling vibe about things.
As is sort of the case with poker, as we all kind of know, as sessions march forward, we get a bit delirious, for
again.
lack of a better. The dark check there from Phil.
Queen 10-4, top pair for Antonio.
14,000.
14K bet, draws the curtain.
And Phil's right
You
back
know,
in this
Antonio,
thing, and
I don't mind that you're robbing me. I really don't, but it sucks. It sucks that I haven't had anything for like 10 hands.
It's hard when you don't make top pair every hand, right?
Top
or
pair?
boats
Wow.
or sets. I mean,
All I need is
haven't
ace
made, I
high.
haven't made one big hand, not one. You know that?
All
Not
I need
one.
is ace high. You have
I
your
haven't
perspective.
made one big hand. You
Why
make
don't-
boats and boats.
why don't you
and
go on your
two pairs
rant?
And sets and sets.
As soon as you're done ranting, I'll
If
talk.
I had your cards, it'd be over by now.
You're so misunderstanding Nolan Hold'em.
It's just true.
No, bro. What's true is you're running me over when I'm not in the mood to get run over. And I just haven't flopped anything. You think I need top fucking pair? I need bottom pair against you or ace high.
4,000. 5,000.
I'll let you rob me 10 out of 11 pots, but everybody else, I flop something, like at least bottom fucking pair after an hour. Everybody else, I
You
get.
want to bet that you've made more hands than me?
Oh, stop.
You want to bet? I'll bet you. I'll even let you 1.5 to 1 on what Nick
Wow.
Sullivan says.
wow.
The beautiful thing about
1.5 to 1 that you've made more hands this match than me.
made more hands.
Yeah.
Made more big hands when I needed it, or made more hands.
Just you
oh,
ran.
oh, so
you
when I
ran
flop a
better
set
than me.
and I win nothing,
You want to bet that you ran better than me with cards?
the queen jack hand. I mean, like the match is over, or the 5-7.
You
You're
played
gonna
it
be
like
down.
a ding dong. What do you expect?
I expect not to let you win 13 pots in a row.
Let's
That's
go
what
for
I
14,
expect.
Ray. You're doing good. 14. Come on. Come on, Ray.
You
Team
got something
Ray,
to do with
let's
the
go.
dealer?
Cold rag, aisle 1, please. We need a cold rag. We got a little steamer. Ray, do you enjoy when he steams up or no? Be honest. It's enjoyable, right?
Dude, don't pull the dealer into this.
He doesn't care. He said,
I asked you not to pull the dealer into this.
why
Okay,
do you
can you not
care
do that?
if I talk to Ray? You
You're
can't even hear what he
asking
says.
his opinion about me. I would prefer if you didn't do that.
He's not answering.
Oh, so you want him to talk. So you want him to talk. Okay.
I'm just having a little
Okay.
fun.
Okay. Well, I asked you not to do it. If you want to ignore me, that's fine. Go ahead.
You
ignore
really
me.
care that I talk to the dealer?
I told you
Okay, let's
I
make
don't
it clear
want.
that Phil Hellmuth really cares if I talk to Ray. Okay, Ray, I apologize. I'm not gonna talk
No,
to you anymore,
now you're
okay?
making shit up. I mean,
Well, you don't want me to
look
talk to him, I
stupid.
won't talk to
You
him.
look stupid to everybody.
Really? I'll bet
Yeah.
you look stupid for asking me not to talk to Ray.
I asked not
You
to.
wanna bet?
I asked you not to have the dealer comment about me. That's
Check.
what I asked you.
Okay, so I can talk to him, but not about you.
Yes.
Okay. Ray, what'd you have for breakfast today?
Just relentless.
Yeah, I mean, I think that all speaks for itself.
11?
11,000.
Steam is real. Antonio open-ended here, too. Jacks up.
Yeah.
An 8 or a king, there might be a homicide if...
Do you think Phil kills Ray or he kills Antonio?
By the way,
both parties might.
By the way, well, let's see what this river brings, and then we'll get to that.
Because remember,
it
was Nicole,
everybody,
but then Ron ended up dead too.
Right. Everybody has a right to do what they're doing if we're not, if violence isn't involved or what have you. But Hellmuth is right. When people sort
16.
of involve the dealer, it is a little bit tilted. You know what I mean, Ali? Like,
sure.
Like, I've been there, like,
All right, you win.
I know what Phil's saying, but at the same time, look, Antonio's
But
gonna do his
isn't-
thing. They're both going to do their
Isn't
thing.
it also incumbent upon Phil, who recognizes this? This isn't obfuscated. This is Antonio's MO and
Yes,
has
of
been for a
course,
very long
of
time,
course.
in particular against him. So now you are wearing it on your sleeve that you
Where's
were
the water?
discombobulated when a wolf smells blood.
Heart on his sleeve for better or for worse. Look at this guy.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Of course, though, Ali.
Well, the chips are going to be colored up here.
No issues with you, Ray, of course.
Paul Campbell
Antonio has
steps
this
in.
bad habit of trying to, like...
And we will flash back to yet another memorable moment involving these guys. It was Holidays with Hellmuth when Phil Claus took the felt.
I'll bet. You know what I mean? Phil Hellmuth is not great at being humble. It's just some things are genetic coding.
All in. And he's moving all in, essentially putting Phil to the since he has Phil well.
I defend 100% of the big blind, so I narrow my range, so he's always in bad shape. How the does he ever win a pot? And he doesn't adjust. He doesn't even know how to fold out of the big blind. It's so frustrating to watch. Where's the adjustment? He finally started limping with the hands he's supposed to limp with. Now
He's officially talking to himself. We finally got him narrowed.
You got me, Antonio.
We finally got him.
Unbelievable.
Bye, Ho.
Oh,
Bye, Phil.
I couldn't wait to play you heads up, Antonio.
Anytime. Any amount, any...
Maria Ho caught in the crossfire there as we look at the rules of the duel. Our blinds going up as they do every 20 minutes right now. And the beauty of getting these two guys in on the first round is that if one of them loses, they can challenge and force the other to put the full prize pool back into play. It would be a 200K match in that case. And if you like what you're seeing here, you'll love what we're bringing you exclusively on PokerGO. The full slate of high stakes poker. You remember the show? So loved for so long. Ivy, Negreanu, Dwan Brunson, and many more streaming now exclusively on PokerGO.
Less.
Welcome back to High Stakes Duel. Ali Nejad and Nick Schulman bringing you this battle between Phil Hellmuth and Antonio Esfandiari.
But
Blinds
Jungle
have
Man
gone up
folded
to
3 tons
3,000, 6,000 in this 50K a man, $100,000 winner-take-all round one match.
You know what I mean?
No.
You could get away with that. Nice hand, bro.
Thank you. You've been running me over, but what I feel like is...
You had 2 big plays. One, I was wrong on both of them. What is it, 3-6? Sorry.
Button on Antonio.
Wow.
10-8 suited. I feel like that's been the hand of the match for him.
Yeah.
That hurt.
Up
That hurt
against
a lot,
Jack
though.
8 suited
Why
this
do you wanna
time
hurt
now. Let's see, min raises to 12.
And I mean, nothing contrived here, Ali.
Why do you want to hurt me, Phil? That one hurt.
It's a real deal. They both want to win. I mean,
sure.
Touched on this before. It's
Sure.
obvious, but
It really did hurt.
they've really, especially I feel like Hellmuth, just with the history, and it's And that's the weird thing about poker. When somebody has kind of had your number
I
a little
almost
bit.
moved in before the flop.
Well,
was
speaking
had.
of having your
Should've.
number, the 8 was dominated.
You're right.
Antonio flops top
snapped
pair.
Yeah, I'm a sample size of 1 live, so yeah, sure.
Should have done it.
But it builds.
Oh yeah.
When somebody holds over you a little bit, I've had nightmares about
gonna raise my
guys
hand, I
that
gotta start
have
moving.
given me problems.
8 or 6? 6?
It can get bad.
It can get into your
I'm gonna
head.
raise every hand.
Yes.
I gotta
Where
check,
you almost
move in,
manifest
limp
it.
move in.
Yes.
You come into a match and you think this guy holds over me, chances are it's going to happen.
Okay.
7-5. Button limp from Phil. Antonio says run it. 2 hearts, 2 sixes, and a deuce, which connects with Antonio for the best holding. He leads, or does he check? I think he bet this. Yeah. Phil making the call. Antonio now full on the turn, and Hellmuth just peeling here in position with that 7-5, straddling one of those 6s.
Yeah, it's reasonable. The straddle. He's got clear outs to be open-ended. He has a heart kind of card that he can bluff. But now, I think
61.
often we're done. But he's coming with 61, Ali, and 6s full of deuces here is quite strong. Just when you look at the entire scope of Hellmuth's range, it's awkward, of course, but
And you know what?
what
Hellmuth's a
really
guy.
is Hellmuth supposed to have here? It's
Well, we know he traps sometimes when he
Of
limps on the
course.
button, but I don't think that on this texture he would stand up with the raise now.
Yeah,
I think he would simply call and then maybe on the river.
I agree, and wow, and it's nice to have outs in this life. So
Barf bag to the main game.
6 is full of 5s, and I mean, we have echoed fortune favors the brave before, but this is really an out there kind of line from Hellmuth, and what a sweet sight that river is, and we have to go for value here, not just because 6s full of 5s are mostly good, but just the we have to kind of bet and hope he folds this so we don't have to show this one down.
100K?
I'm not I think sizing wise, we really want to target the duck, and I would be kind of content going
32.
smaller. I like this. I like this bet where the duck just kind of has to call.
And Phil.
I really like that
got a
size,
5.
actually.
Kidding me.
I got a
Are
Oh.
you kidding me? You want to talk about luck? How lucky are you, buddy?
You hit the 5-7 on me also.
Yeah. Same size pot. Yeah. I mean, you were just, oh my gosh, just trying to give me the chips.
That's really
Well, I'm going to be playing at you now, I'll tell you that. I'm not letting you run me over
no
anymore.
problem. A 5 on the river. Man,
I should have bet 50.
who wedged that horseshoe up your ass? Jeez.
Wow.
It's unbelievable.
Wedged up there.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty
Yeah.
sick.
He's tilted right
it
now, Ali. And the
3?
first chip lead for maybe the
Yeah.
entire map, I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
Hellmuth now
you
has
were
the chip lead.
Dead.
Check. You had a deuce.
It was good.
Mm-hmm.
It was good to the tune of about 85%. The turn. That's a really rough one for Antonio.
Sure.
7?
Tell you what, his outburst
Man,
feels
you
far
won't
more
have one
muted
pot. You got 10 high, huh?
than it might have been if the roles were reversed.
Right.
We would have seen a stand-up,
You're so
a walk-off
lucky,
set,
Nice hand, Antonio.
mumble to
by the
yourself
way.
for
Take
3 to
it
4
down.
orbits.
That's 10
Oh.
high, bro.
So lucky. It's amazing how lucky you are. You don't even know it. That's the crazy thing. You have no idea how lucky you've been this match.
One of us does not understand the concept of luck and no limit hold'em as well as the other one.
Wow.
That's for sure.
Wow.
One of us does not understand. One of us has let one of us run him over, and you haven't paid the price yet. But you will.
Just
I mean-
bluffing the whole way. Whee!
Yeah, this is, I mean,
As demoralized as he is, though, Nick, look at the stacks. I mean, he's not in bad shape.
Very unorthodox play from Hellmuth on the turn. His hand choice too was. It's one of these things. I mean, it's very, very tilty hand for Esfandiari, though.
Check.
Clearly, that one really makes you want to kind of punch the table a little bit. It's really a rough one. Just the dust. The 6-outer, but out of nowhere, it doesn't even need to happen. He doesn't even need to inflate the pot. Poker is a really brutal
You didn't want to raise
sport.
10 high that time, huh?
You can do it, buddy. You can do it.
She just called me with the king deuce. The match was over.
Yeah, you played that well. You got me.
Oh, a little
Used up all your squeezer vig there.
Little reminder.
Squeezer vig. Well said. Squeezer vig.
They're back, neck and neck. I mean, this has been a great match, honestly.
Sure.
Go ahead.
It's really showcased in short order what a heads-up match is likely to entail.
And just the spectrum of emotions. You know, it gets really real out there. I mean, it really, truly does. It's not about the money anymore. It's about you're in the trenches with somebody for hours. So many showdowns, textures, flops, turns, rivers, pre-flop decisions. It gets crazy out there. And at this point, the culmination of it, you know, it's who's going to take it? I mean,
well,
22,000.
Esfandiari.
Oh, Hellmuth with
is going to enjoy seeing this.
These boys are not scared to just jack it up and drop bombs with zilch. I mean, this is El Zilcho. We have the backdoor gutty, the 8 of hearts, but we have the unders. I mean, it's nice to kind of have a little bit more than that, but this is the kind of turn where maybe the 10-8 rides off into the sunset.
Well, you mentioned the backdoor gutty. The ace on the turn does bring it in. Could hit the jack now to make Broadway. Antonio's king still well in front.
So dusty for Phil, but yet we only have 10 high.
35,000.
And he's doing it, Ali.
Boy, I don't know.
I think we have to peel.
Tend to agree.
I think we have to call, but
especially
it does suck a little bit. I've made tighter folds than this.
We have a kicker issue, certainly.
We have a kicker issue,
4.
but actually our kicker's maybe a bit sort of good, weirdly, in this spot because we kind of want to unblock these kind of ridiculous hands like 8-9. It's a subtle thing, but he's out. And it's understandable. I think we call, but
Can't believe I folded that hand.
Well, throughout the years, Phil has employed white magic, positivity, and he's even let us know that he can dodge bullets.
I was supposed to go broke on that hand, honey. Except I forgot one thing. I can dodge bullets, baby. You don't think I knew he had a full house? I knew.
Oh, sure.
I was hoping not to have to make that laydown at the World Series of Poker on the first day.
You know what's cute about that clip? You could tell what the wife was, a
little
bit embarrassed,
yeah.
but also loves him. It's
he's her Phil. You know what I mean?
A lot of
say what you want. That's my Phil.
Oh my! Wow, Ali.
Whoa.
This could be a wrap.
Queen Jack 8.
Oh no, that's
clubs.
okay. Only 2.
We have.
Excuse me. I thought it was 3 clubs, but okay.
Well, a third club without a 4th one present could also do some damage.
No.
But yes,
we have
the
one
cooler
brewing.
is not yet
we
happening.
have one brewing. Is he shooting it up? We got to go with just call here. That's not true. I shouldn't say that. Raise is viable, so I retract that. But okay, maybe I want to raise with a slightly lower flush draw, even just for the middling ones can okay, but. Phil is very much trying not to hit a club. Now he's got the gut shot. They both have gut shots. Both have tremendous hands. Hellmuth has a check jam candidate here if he goes big. And
well, he check called 16,000 on the flop. See. 60 out there, and Antonio is firing.
It looked like 30-ish. 28. I think 28 we can just call. I think we just kind of call and try to hit. I like this choice, a sort of pragmatic approach.
He has far less outs than he thinks he does. Neither player improves, and now the disappointment for Esfandiari, who had so much promise.
Yeah, and this actually is a candidate for a bluff for Hellmuth because he has a lot of Jack X in his range. It's very reasonable. Maybe we do it. He sort of has the worst hand he can have. It's annoying to have the clubs when we want Antonio to have the clubs, but nonetheless, I think I would at least consider going for this one. He's considering it. He's eyeing the stack.
Well, unfortunately, the fact
Time
that
back.
he has 2 clubs means he blocks Antonio
but
from
it's
being
heads
on that
up,
busted
and we have
flush.
to find bluffs, and sometimes we have to bluff busted flush draws.
45?
I like this, but he's going with such a friendly size. Let's see.
If this wasn't ace-king of clubs, it'd be a much easier path to a call for Antonio. Agreed?
Yes and no, because often we think Hellmuth won't bluff with the clubs.
I don't
So,
think you have any idea how lucky you are, my friend. Like, truly.
wow,
Truly have no idea how lucky you are, Phil.
the kinds of hands Hellmuth would bluff with are things like King 10 of Hearts, stuff like that. So in a way, having the clubs is almost makes it a better bluff catcher, but this spot is very hard. I know what you mean too. I think Hellmuth shows down the busted ace high clubs and king high clubs basically. So I think if he has king 5 of clubs here, he just checks. But this one, just stone dust. A very logical lead from Hellmuth. I really like it. And Antonio, he beats king 10. The little club draws, not much else. I think he kind of has to fold. I mean, this is really a hero because
Only beat king 10. That's it.
Yeah.
All I can beat is king 10.
yeah, great bet from Hellmuth. And
Good sizing.
yeah, it's a cutesy kind of, and this sizing retains a queen, which is nice. If you go too big, not that Antonio can snap call a bigger bet, but this sizing allows for things like jacks and queens.
It's not polarizing.
It's not polarizing. It is a depolarizing kind of sizing. Gets it through. Bravo, Phil Hellmuth. Beautiful execution there. And now we have a chip lead that's formidable. And perhaps Mr. Hellmuth talking to himself.
Yeah, club. How much you done? No problem.
He's a little bit sick right now, Ali. Got the loafer socks going.
Oh.
He's telling Pop
Yeah.
he had the world.
Yeah, that
really have no idea how lucky
Said he
you
had
are.
the ace, the king, the clubs, a 10.
beautiful
Checks.
river bluff there from Phil, though. That was nicely done. I really like his whole entire line there. Was really, truly well done. And he has almost a 2-to-1 lead. I mean, he's trying to close this thing out, Ali.
Listen, world-class players don't get there without having some world-class plays.
There it is.
Say what you want.
Kiss baby clubs.
There's
I could've
people
won with
at
fear.
home. I can feel it already, by the way,
Yeah.
just laughing at that statement, right?
Right.
But respect the man.
7.
Obviously.
He just showed you why you need to respect him right there.
Of course. And also, I do feel for Hellmuth, there's been a bit of a focus shift where he's dialed now. He can smell it. He's not really
I had
talking
the world
anymore.
on that hand, my friend.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolute
Yeah.
world. Ace, king of clubs. 10, ace, king, club. No problem.
And Antonio's chatter has shifted from needles to moans.
Real steam. I mean, he's kind of talking to himself. It's, you know.
And Hellmuth's content to sit back and allow it to play out.
What's the biggest pocket pair of this match? I feel like there have not, maybe 9s.
Queens.
Couple
Hellmuth.
of ladies once.
That's it.
Ladies once.
Which will happen. I mean, it's not a
it'll-
given that
it will
aces
happen.
and kings are
I
going to show
actually
up.
like heads-up matches where it's the Jack 4s fighting versus the 9-5s.
You're
That's
scrappy.
beautiful. Yeah,
You're
you got to get
scrappy.
in there and scrap. You have to. Pretty one here for Hellmuth. Jack
Sure.
10 suited.
There will be no limp folding this holding.
Check.
9 deuce. Just ugliness for Esfandiari and no improvement on this board. Trip jacks
7.
for Hellmuth. Stranglehold. Easy takedown. And with the blinds where they
Can
are, at
smell
3
it.
and 6,000, Antonio's sitting on 220 roughly.
Yeah, very much in it.
Sub 40
Close
bigs.
match now. Anybody can take it, but it feels like Hellmuth can smell it a little bit. Must feel so good for him after having the deficit for a long time, hanging around. Now to finally have the lead and to carve it out in his own way with the 7 high, it's, you know, he's feeling good right now.
Oh, and Queen Jack against Queen 10.
A lot can happen, but
check.
The diamond for Antonio should be the driving force in taking this one down, we would think.
With a dash of position. As he fires 16,000. Hellmuth content to release. And the banter has sort of given way to some mild tension, dare I say.
Yeah.
Kind of a pivotal point in the match. Get that beautiful overhead shot of this newly constructed table specifically for our high stakes duel. 8-9 offsuit on the button. And Hellmuth just limp folds. He's going to want to play some small ball here as he senses the advantage and the momentum. And he doesn't want to let Antonio claw his way back in short order or with ease.
Right. Exactly this. He's a very irritating opponent to get a chip lead on you for those exact reasons. The small ball, the slow things down, pump the brakes. And that style can be extremely tilty to deal with. Jack deuce versus 7-6.
Air everywhere.
Antonio Jack high, backdoor hearts, winner. It's tough for Antonio too because I feel that he has one more pot. That stat might not be true, but it feels like he's won the small ball battle. He's won the stabby, aggressive kind of battle. But there is Hellmuth kind of doing his thing in the big pots, the 6-7, and
but it hasn't been. He's had the better
Antonio
hand.
Could have gotten there. No, but he did come with it on the end. King Deuce was just tremendous from Hellmuth.
Ace King of clubs,
6-7, and King Deuce, bravo territory.
Yes.
I mean the Jack 4, the King Deuce hand for Antonio.
Right.
When he had Jack 4, it really nice. I mean, kind of a photo finish here. Hellmuth with the stab, bottom pair. Antonio with dust out of there.
Phil currently with a 100K chip advantage. Match started with each player 300 big blinds deep. Of course, as the levels advance, depth of stack diminishes. And eventually, you can find yourself in the sort of territory that really forces you to pick a hand and go with it. But if there's anybody who is adept at milking a stack, should he somehow find himself in that sub 15 blind territory, it's got to be Phil Hellmuth. He takes pride in it almost.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
The little lies we kind of tell it. It's ace queen offsuit. We're okay just taking it. But he comes with that's a shame. You know what I mean? It's like whenever a poker player says something at the table, it's the opposite of what they're saying.
Right. Nice hand is that's the bless your heart of poker, you know. It sounds friendly enough, but really.
Some of the Jack deuce. I feel like we've seen this 5-7 off a few times.
Well, that's one way to deliver 3 cards to the middle.
We have the middle card now sliding out to the side.
That wouldn't work for the prop bettors in the Bobby's Room game, by the way. Wait, what? Where was the queen? Hold on.
By the way, I've seen that argument come up with middle cards where the flop gets shuffled. I actually saw a big fight in Bobby's Room one time. Different story for a different time. What is the ruling there?
Oh, do you just
is
play
it
it as
the
it lies?
original middle card, or do you play it as a lie? Nobody really knows the prop rules. Hellmuth stabs Antonio, just a kind of cold stretch for him. Blinds up now 4-8. This level is likely to decide things, but as you said, hanging around could enter the foray, but before 8,000 at this depth, I mean, things can really happen. This has been a great match.
It really has.
A lot of back and forth. Tempers have flared for both.
But
Has
a lot
to be
of
expected, but
a lot of plot lines have sort of played out.
Yeah.
You know, it's a good
Yeah.
script that we're working with here.
All in.
should do it.
2 10s. Ready to go.
Reasonable. We could, of course, we could raise as well to something like 4x, but that shove can't be bad.
Well, there will be no bracelets
I think he'll get
awarded
20
here, but
think he'll get 20 when it's all said and done. 20, man, it's hard to beat the kids.
But
out
remember
there,
when he
but
had 11
probably
and people
just
were
will.
going, would he get 15? And here we are. You know, he got 10. You asked, would he get 15?
24,000?
I mean, as long as he continues to play the schedule,
3x
you know,
here, king 6.
that he has been, I think.
King queen suited is
much
just
is
a
the total?
clear cut, put it in. And of course, a little bit of posturing here for Hellmuth. Just king 6 off. Can't call.
What do you think? You think he'll get to 20? I don't think he's going to get to a call here, but we'll go ahead and count it out. But does he get to 20 bracelets?
I don't know, Ali. I don't know. 5 more. If anybody can do it, it's this absolute gorilla from the Northwest. So, I mean, he's live, but it's tough, man. I mean, those bracelets are hard to kind of come, but tournaments in general are hard to win.
But when you play the schedule that he does,
I
you're
know,
willing
but
to
they're
get there in
big
some of the
fields, but they're
events that
big,
don't
but
have
they're-
the biggest of
but they're
fields,
big
though,
field.
right?
Yeah,
There's
but-
some couple 100-player fields that show up from time to time.
Yeah, but still, you know, I mean, it's thirds, fifths. It's just the clear first. It's
Yeah,
tough.
yeah.
You can make 15 final tables in a row and not win it. I mean,
There's some great players who've been within sniffing distance repeatedly over the years and have amassed good amounts of winnings. And then you
Oh.
hear, wait, what? He doesn't have a bracelet?
and it's one
She
of the
doesn't?
it's one of the kind of poker we attach. Yeah, there's some phenomenal players who haven't won a bracelet yet. Time will tell.
Let the dice roll. It's crapshooty time.
5 deuce out of there.
And the nature of heads up, certainly, as one stack reaches precarious territory, it does turn into a bit of a roulette wheel.
It does, but there's still play
We're not there
here.
yet.
Right.
But you know what? We've seen haste at times. Some people really just, they don't want to grind. You're deep into a match. You're in that 20 bigs. You know that it's playable, but you don't want to deal. You don't want to be bothered. And we've seen that kind of creep in to good players. They just, you know what? All right, fine. Let's go.
Absolutely. Also, certain players are quite comfortable at the deeper depths, but then when we're shorter, when we have 30 or 40 bigs and more kind of technical execution enters the foray, real deal right and wrong answers lurk. 250
24.
bigs deep, they lurk there as well, but it's a bit the Wild West. But when you have 30 bigs, you better avoid big mistakes, and this is a jammable one.
2 sevens have made it 24,000 to go. 3x here at the 4 and 8,000 level.
Defend is lovely, but this hand can do it for 30 bigs,
Oh, right.
and Phil's hand can do it as well. And I believe he
Sevens.
snapped, so the heads, tails, Ali.
Have I prophesized?
I believe you did prophesize.
Right on the heels. I mean, the queen
Small
jack
favor.
does
We
not
needed
want to
the
get
queen or a
called.
jack.
Stone flip, off
You
we
can find one
go.
in there, right? Rachel, I believe in you. I think you can. What do you think? I think she can.
That'd be time for a red 7, huh?
No, I think it's going to be a queen. Not a jack. It's going to be a queen, a red queen.
You think they're like trying to manifest, trying to change the cards
4,
and
5,
back
6 is
alley
really
deep down? You think they're clinging to that 0.2%
Good luck, sir.
maybe if we
I don't
put
know
it
that
out in
they'd
the
cop to
universe?
it.
Here we go, flop.
Ace 8-4 rainbow,
Bit
not a
dry
good one.
for Mr. Esfandiari. Bit dry, no club anywhere in sight. He's standing.
6 outs twice,
Nice
some
hand,
runners
Phil.
to the straight.
Really, already?
I mean,
The early
I'm not a
mode,
turn
though.
river guy.
Still
I'm a flop
28%
guy.
from here on out with 2 to come.
Yeah, we got the 9, the 10, the king, the queen, the jack.
See?
Dust.
5 is bad.
Well, you got me.
Down to the jack queen, or Mr. Hellmuth will win round 1 of this high stakes
got me.
duel. The legend. Does he hold?
$100,000 round 1 match, the first ever in high stakes
the
duel
bag is
history.
on, and that's a
Nice
wrap.
Phil Hellmuth comes
battle, bro.
back to
I know
defeat
you're re-challenging me.
Yeah, official.
Antonio
correct, okay.
Esfandiari,
You
who
count on
immediately has issued
that. Luck box.
the rematch.
By the way, I wasn't, that hand you had ace king of clubs, I had 7 high, but if a club comes, you bust me.
Bravo, Phil. Well done.
Well done, but no
Fought
need to
hard.
visit the cage because you can't cash out.
Hey, now. Like that.
Obligated to play at least 3 matches before he is able to collect a check. And while he bested Antonio on this occasion, Esfandiari has exercised his rematch right, which means we will see these two face off again. We certainly hope that you enjoyed this edition of High Stakes Duel. And on behalf of our entire crew here in Las Vegas and my partner in crime, Nick Schulman, I'm Ali Nejad saying so long, and we'll see you for the $200,000 round 2.